Yo, what's up, everybody? We were coming on here to shoot the shit and go over this YouTube circus and all the shenanigans going on. I cannot believe what I'm watching, you guys. Cannot believe it. So I'm going to put the intro on and we're going to get this party started.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Sorry about that. I didn't know it was on the loop. You got to click the button off, and I guess I hit reset. So I looped the intro. But you know, we love that motherfucker so much anyways. I'll play it on loop all day, every day. Start listening to the song. I love that song anyways.
And isn't that just like free YouTube music? Like that's not a real band, right? It's not like a real song, right?
Well, oh yeah.
It's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like I like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got that little catchy, like, you know.
Catchy.
We ain't taking shit. Okay, so listen, what do you think? Have you watched the YouTube shenanigans going on?
So I did not watch any gym. I didn't watch any gym stuff yesterday. And just so everybody's clear, the thumbnail is not because Will and Jim are in a fight. I don't think they know each other. It's just that the way they both went live on Friday, and I feel like they're in a title bout, like to see like who will win the title for worst person on YouTube right now. And they just remind me of each other.
Like I used to think, you know what? There's nobody that can even come close to the glare. There's nobody who can ever fucking come close to that. Like he is just yuck. You know what I mean? And he's been on my panel. I've let him up here. He was super nice. I was respectful and nice. He got down and went and ran his fucking mouth. So I have no respect for that whatsoever. And the shit that he's done. So I was like, there's nobody that can be worse than his funky ass. And then all of a sudden, guess what? God says, oh, hell to the no. Here, the devil, I said God. The devil said, oh, hell to the no. Let me drop Jim Terry in your fucking lap.
Yeah, you're like, no. Listen. Jim is so abhorrent that I actually start to feel like I hadn't seen Will in a while. And I was like, even Will wasn't this bad. Will wasn't that bad. And then you know what? Will decided to remind me that, yes, he is that bad, because I don't know if anybody's noticed the last 2 days, but Will has lost his mind. He has caught the Mike fever again hard. He has like a raging infection of Mikey pox.
I seen that.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody watched it, but he went live 2 times. He's now like officially the spokesman. He's like, you know, he's doing his life's work, his social justice mission to right the wrongs that the world has done to Mike Long. And I'm telling you, it's just like last summer. I remember last summer when Annie and Will, Annie fell out with Mike, and then Will was like, okay, mom doesn't like dad anymore. I'm going to live with mom and not really talk to dad anymore. And was kind of over Mike too. And then he was like putting Courtney on when Courtney said like, my life's in danger and everything. And he was like, all right, whatever. He was just so over it. And he really didn't talk for so long about it. It was so nice. And then when Mike went on the run, or in the summer when he started that horrible mandamus thing, God, last summer sucked. John Sr. sends him one email, and all of a sudden he's like the good little soldier again and did horrible things last summer. But this time I'm going to play a little clip because today was weird. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. It was weird. It's like he's doing it, but I feel like he's not, his heart's not in it. They're having him, he was reading from like a script. And we know, remember that time we saw last summer that he accidentally
wait, you said he was reading from a script? Do you really think he was?
Yes, because last summer, do you remember one time we saw it and it showed that Mike was in the Facebook Messenger telling him what to say because he accidentally showed.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, he looked so damn stupid.
He is listing the oldest stuff. He's like, we are going to get back to the 911 calls. He's talking about like Uncle Dan, like the oldest, every single weird random allegation, like in order. And sometimes he just like looks blank and is silent. I mean, he didn't even last like an hour, but he said really, really, really messed up stuff about Kelly. But
really messed up stuff.
And he has no idea what's going on. Like he has zero. He's so far behind the 8 ball with like the basic information since last year. It was frustrating, and I almost got really upset. And then I said, you know what? I have to remember that like this is over. Like KL won. Mike has lost permanently. Will has lost permanently. As nasty as what he's saying is, I don't have to feel like that like how bad I used to feel about it. But let me see if I can grab this.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, him and Annie Banani did a lot of damage to her. I mean, like I said, she had to damn near move out of her fucking house because of those two. I mean, well, with Mike's help, but I mean, when they went after her, they went hard.
Yeah. Well, the only two
we came back even harder. So I mean, I can't go there about that because we came back for Kelly hard as hell.
Well, he said one good thing came out of his live. He was telling his audience, he's like, and in the jail in Mexico, he had to sleep on a concrete floor. And I'm like, where have you been? Like, we've all known this for a while, but he did tell us that we did not know that there was no bathroom and all the inmates used one bucket that was in their cell and only got changed out once a day. So that was a fun fact. And then he did confirm that, which we all knew, that Annie gave her little super sincere apology and retraction because of some sort of, agreement that the lawyers came to together.
Are you still here? Is my phone messing up?
No, I'm here. I'm just getting the clip back. Let's see. You're gonna get mad at this one. This is just.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna pop out and come back in. Okay. You got your screen up? No. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my screen up. Okay. So hopefully she'll put my screen in, but in this one, he gets right into it. It was a very quick live. He went really hard. It was really short. He did not have a lot of people in his chat. And it seemed like he was like getting riled a little bit, but it really seemed like an obligation. And he gets right to it and immediately says something super defamatory about Kelly. And I feel like he's not that bright because now that the custody case is over, like, why wouldn't Kelly just sue him for defamation just to cost him the court fees? He is an idiot because there's a 2-year statute of limitations on defamation. And he just restarted the clock on that 2 years by saying this.
All right, baby, I got it up. Did you clip it or what? Is this a clip of him or what?
For putting him in an environment where he is present. So Kelly Long, to me, is not innocent. I don't think that she's a responsible or loving mother in any way, shape.
Oh, wow.
And I think that these children being in her care are always at risk of being in danger. Always.
See, this that bullshit.
Kids
that
are
bullshit.
in her care in any way, shape, or form. And
coming from someone who has never raised his own children.
Isn't this like this to me seems like such a aggressive take to take right out the gate. Like the guys.
Why is it that people who have not raised their own kids or have never had the privilege to raise their own children or don't have children be the motherfucking first people to speak up on somebody's kids? If you don't shut your ass up and sit the fuck down.
And to be clear, the dad in this situation had his parental rights terminated and is sitting in a Texan jail now on a $2 million bail after spending 6 months in a Mexican jail where he had to be.
He has the nerve to say Kelly's a bad parent. The fucking nerve, the audacity.
I'll say that girl said she's really upset, but that girl, listen, he was not. Even though last
year.
No,
she's upset with him. Like she listened to the stream because we, you know what I'm saying? She's like, I just got a message, but she's like, give me a sec. I can't fucking believe it.
I want to ask her opinion, but this is unusual for him. He doesn't, for him to just to say Kelly is not innocent, she's not a loving mother, and she's a bad person, and like she should never have the kids. Like he would always do that. He would basically say things that bad, but then he would like waffle back to like, you know, I'm just leaving Sophie, SL. Like, I thought that was a weird thing to say. It was very stupid to say. There's a little bit more.
Interested in protecting these children is now locked up in jail on a $2 million bond for simply trying to protect his child from these environments.
Oh, hell no, he didn't.
And there's something seriously wrong with that.
He said for trying to protect his child. The lies, you lie like a rug, Swilly Bean. You lie like a rug.
The whole live was like that. The whole live was like, he was like, Michael is this is conspiracy. He's completely in jail for no reason. Like that type of thing. And you see his eyes go all over the place. And I'm telling you, he's not just looking at his chat because he didn't respond to his chat at all. There was no troll, nothing in the chat. He is hesitating and he's reading. And because he was talking about stuff I forgot about. Like really small details. Like there's no way he would remember this. Like he's reading off a script from Jeannie.
Oh, somebody probably wrote it out for him. Alyssa or Jeannie or somebody, you know what I mean? One of them probably wrote it out for him.
Not Alyssa, because he hates her, and he actually talked about how much he hates her in this.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. But let me get another one.
Like just the things that he says, I just cannot. And like I said, I thought he was bad, and then all of a sudden, here goes Jim Terry getting dropped in our laps, and I'm like, oh, oh God, it's fucking 10 times worse than Swill. Jeez Louise.
If you want to put it back in, I have another one where.
Oh yeah, I just didn't know if you wanted it up there. I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? So I just cut it off. I don't have anything up to cover. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me put the thumbnail up. That was great.
I like this thumbnail. Will is the glarer. He's a YouTuber.
Yes, he has a channel, and his name is Will. He goes by the Glare, and he was, he involved himself in a case of, it wasn't even a case, it was a really ugly, nasty divorce. And I know there's a lot of people, somebody messaged me today, and I was talking to him, and they said the reason we even came to YouTube was to get help for our family. We thought it would help get the word out, put pressure on the police departments and things like that, and the people that they were last with, and And they said we had no clue how hateful and how awful and how nasty and ugly things have been on YouTube, and how nasty things have gotten and been towards us and towards our family when we came to YouTube for help. And a lot of these families don't realize how bad YouTube is until they get right in the mix of it, and or they can't pull out. It's already too late.
Yep, and it doesn't help. Do not bring your custody case to YouTube. Do not even bring, if you're missing. Honestly, don't bring your missing person case to YouTube. Now, if you feel like you need publicity, like just push really hard on your local news, right? Like calling like your local news stations, your local newspapers, like that's where you're going to get publicity that was going to have an impact where you actually live. This YouTube stuff, it's not going to help you. Now, I'm glad that Mike no longer has custody of his kids. He is a very, very, very not good and mentally ill person. However, he would not be in jail and he would not have lost his parental rights if he had not done this, if he had not come to YouTube. He completely, it's like, congratulations, you played yourself. Like how I had that on the other day. It's not worth it. Okay, here we go. Now notice like for people who have not followed it, you're going to see he's going to list all these accusations against the mother. None of these things are true at all. These things were repeated ad nauseum for like 2 years, for like over a year. And they were super destructive. But at this point, no one's even mentioned these in a long time. This thing is over and done with. The guy's lost his parental rights permanently. He's in jail. He's going to go on. He's eventually going to get criminal charges once he goes to the grand jury. And he's bringing up this stuff that is, number one, not true, old. He knows it's not true. He knows it. And number two, trigger warning, I'll tell everybody, he gets very vulgar and specific about a 9-year-old child, and like a sex essay thing, which is not true. And he says it in a super vulgar, disgusting way, because why not, right? She's in like 6th grade now. Why not put it back out there?
We need to get back to the things in this case that make sense. We need to get back to that.
No, actually, this case does not need to be brought back up
court
again
documents
at all. I don't know why he's even doing this.
He's doing it because they told him to. Like once he talks to Mike or once he talks to John, he hasn't even talked to Mike yet. He gets, and they can't pay him. He does it last summer too. He just goes immediate. Like he flip-flops them, and now he's being really nasty. Listen to us.
That's the stuff that we have to pay attention to. The court documents, the ludicrous court decisions that were made. We need to get back to the 911 calls. We need to get back to the people with police records and drug past use of and abuse of drugs and alcohol. These are the things that all add up to a dangerous situation that make it responsible to look into Sophie's claims and investigate thoroughly, which a thorough investigation had never taken place.
Which is his favorite thing to say. A million. It could not be a more thorough investigations that had taken place. Now, look how he's looking down. Like he's looking down and hesitating. He never, ever, the chat wasn't doing anything. He never responded to anybody in chat. Right? Normally when you see somebody looking that much at their screen and like reading, it's because there's something going on in chat. But like it really feels like he's reading something. Like it's very.
But why bring this back up when this family deserves it and these kids deserve their privacy? This is not a case.
Because John reached out to him, and his channel must not be doing good because he has 14,000 subs. He was talking about Mike Long, which was always his biggest, topic, and he had 137 in there. And I'm not Jim. I'm not gonna knock somebody for having 137, but I'm just saying like. He used to have what? Like he would normally have what if he was talking like any day of the week, 1,500. And he didn't have as many subs back then. But it's like John talked to him, and now because he didn't remember all this stuff. He was talking about, I didn't clip the Uncle Dan part, thank goodness. But you can go back and listen to it. He was talking about like Uncle Dan. He also made up new stuff. He said that when they went to Uncle Dan's house in Oklahoma, this is something that happened 3 years ago, and was nothing. He was just crazy. He said that they used the children as drug mules. Literally, they used the children as drug mules from Texas to Oklahoma on that trip. Now, is that the craziest thing they've ever said? No. However, I've never, ever heard that before. So they're coming up with like new things now. Yeah, excuse me. I was like, interstate drug mules. Why would you need a drug mule to get in your car and drive, like, you know, on the highway? I think I lost Queen. Did I lose you, Queen? All right.
No, I'm on here.
Okay. And then he just doesn't understand the basics of the case. He keeps saying, oh, here's the best part. He pulled up Jake's court records, and he's so mad because he says that Jake's charges got dropped. And he literally said, again, that it was because of corruption and because the system protects Jake. For people who don't know, this guy just has a stepfather who used to be a cop before he retired. And Mike Long and all these delusional people have been saying for 2 years that that because of that, they literally have full control over all the police, all the law enforcement, all the CPS, and all the judges in Texas and Oklahoma, because he has a stepdad who was a retired cop. Now, mind you, it didn't get dropped. He like pled out. He pled out to the misdemeanor. They dropped the felony. Like, it's pretty normal thing. Guys, 2 years probation, which is good. You know, I'm glad he got punished because he's kind of a jerk, right? But he's going on and on about it. And then I'm going to show you this. He pulls up. This is, I swear to you, he said this. He pulls up the case detail, which I'll pull up right now. Let's see.
Hey, they want to know what your channel link is. You want to explain to them?
For Glare, they want Glare's link.
Oh, I thought Morgs was asking. She said, what's Good Eggs channel link?
Oh, I don't have a channel. But I think they were asking, like, what is, not everybody knows who Will is. But I mean, I guess the mods could put it in the chat. But I might, oh, I'm not sharing. Hold on. Let me see if I can share. Oh, I got it. So he pulls this up. And I used to think that Will, because this is what Mike used to do, they used to say things that were clearly not true, that they knew were true. And I would think, are they that stupid? But it was no. They're just tricking people who they know are that stupid. Like, they know their audience is that stupid. So they would just say things that are not true.
No, that girl, we're not linking his channel at all. Nope, absolutely not.
And let's see. Sorry. And they would do that all the time. But now I think that was just Mike's thing, or Annie's thing. I really think that Will does not get stuff. Last week he said he did not know what the word adjudicated meant. Mind you, this guy's been doing true crime for, how long has he been doing true crime for? On YouTube.
I think 3 or 4 years. That's why I wanted that girl up here, because she used to be his mod and she knows a lot more about you know, his.
How do you
well, and not only that though, listen, he treated her awful and she did a lot for him. So, you know, I understand she doesn't want shit to do with him at all, and I totally understand why. And then after listening to this and how ridiculous he sounds, I would even be embarrassed to even have people say I was his damn mod.
Well, you know, we all, I mean, even the fact that we're all like here together on this channel and friends now, I could not have believed that at all.
Oh, no, not at all. When it first started, when this first started, it was awful.
So he looks this up. First of all, how do you not know the word adjudicated? You've been doing true crime for literally, like, at what point did you not look that word up? You know, because like adjudicated means like they decided that you were guilty of the crime, right? Like you went to trial and it ended, you were adjudicated. So look at this. It says here, this is the day that it all ended, right? He pled out, he got his probation, they dropped the other charges. And it says right here, you know, the boilerplate stuff. Trial court certification of defendant's right to appeal. And then it says, notice of intent to destroy evidence or waiver preservation. Now, I have a pretty good idea off the top of my head what that means. But, you know, there's all that weird legalese. If you wanted to know what that meant, what you could do, Will, is you could have copy and pasted that and dropped it into Google. But instead, he went live the other day, and I'm not joking, on Friday, and he told his viewers that this meant that Jake had destroyed evidence. They knew he destroyed evidence, and that was why they had to drop the charges against him.
Are you fucking kidding me? See, I didn't get to watch it all, but I knew it was on some bullshit.
Now, Will, here's what I'm going to help you out. If you take this little thing right here and you put it right here, the first thing that's going to come up is from the Texas, ADs, like district attorneys. And it literally says here that this means that the assistant district attorney says, this is notice of our intent to destroy the evidence. You pled guilty. We're going to destroy the evidence. It's being sent to the defendant and the defendant's attorney. And upon receipt of proof that defendants received the notice, the planned destruction will take place. But if they object to it, then they can say, no, I don't want you to destroy the evidence. This is literally like a boilerplate thing. It has nothing to do with people destroying evidence. And like, he literally is telling people that. And I think he's lost his mind. I think he's completely lost his mind.
That girl said I was ready to laugh and bust his chops, but I legit feel like puking after watching that shit. I'm straight up with you. You know what? Like I said, I was coming up here to laugh and talk shit about him, but it's hard to talk shit about somebody that's bringing up a little girl and bringing up the bullshit, and then put on top of that, putting more fucking lies and rumors out. I mean, this, like I said, that little girl and that family deserves their privacy. Why the fuck are you going back over it and bringing it back up again and again and again and again?
Listen, if we get the right vibe going and we get like the right mix of people up here, we can absolutely laugh about him, because he said some incredibly stupid stuff.
You're 45 and you work in a fucking gym.
Yeah, you have to get. I wish you did that as like a little.
Gotta play that shit.
We actually have to play that. Let me just see what else I have from him. 1 second.
And after we're done talking about the galere, we're going to move on to Jim Scary, and I'm stepping on his fucking neck because I'm real sick of his shit. And he said a couple of things that just have me sick to my stomach.
Yep. And then at the end, then you guys can decide who won tonight's battle. For being, I don't know what it said. What did it say on the thumbnail? It had a whole list of things. I'll have to read what the title exactly was. It was a very long title they're fighting for. But like, it was, yes, of who will win the title of the most reprobate, wicked, dishonorable, immoral, degenerate, rotten, reprehensible, dissolute, sinful, unprincipled, wanton, villainous, perfidious scoundrels on YouTube. Will it be Jim, the flim flam man Terry, or versus Will Oakleaf Henry? I was being nice using Henry.
You said Will Oakleaf?
I could not, bitch. Will Oakley, damn, burn, baby. I wonder, you know what? It's a wonder how him and Jimmy ain't friends yet. But you know what? They'd get into a fight like Mr. Nuts' broken damn desk.
Jim would not get along with Mike, but he would get along great with Clara, because Will would follow him. Will is such, Will is like a big follower.
Will would, yes. Oh, like, hell yes.
Like, I'm than him.
Mike would say, no, you know what? I need a calm space for my Garuda. For my Garuda prayer circle. Yeah. I need a calm space.
Mike is the Jim, right? So, is this still sharing? Am I still sharing? Yes, I am, right?
Yeah, I got the screen over it.
Okay, you can
You want
take
me
it
to
down.
pop it off? You ready? Okay, here, I'll take it off.
I guess the bad thing is I clipped like the most offensive stuff instead of like the funnier stuff.
And then, you know, they want to make Kelly Long out to be this victim because people had harassed her to where she couldn't live in her house anymore and she had to move into a motel or whatever, which I agree. That's
You
not
and
okay.
Annie
I
both
would
did.
never encourage anyone to engage in that kind of behavior.
Oh,
What
really?
I'd
Because I got
encourage
the
you to
clip
do is
to
use
say
social
otherwise.
media to create awareness, not dox people.
I will say this much though, Will. Okay, so I used to think he was doxing and shit. Like I used to think that he was like a big doxer and shit. But I do got to give it to him though. He doesn't do shit like Jim fucking Terry does.
It's a very low bar, but yeah. I'm not like but what he's saying here, he's like, first he goes, they want to make Kelly a victim because she literally got harassed and had to leave her home permanently. And then he realized what he said. He's like, and yeah, I guess that is bad. Then he's telling people right now, tell me that he's not being fed these lines. He said, we need to use social media now. Like, that's what you need to do. Like, you need to get all this stuff back out there because it's not coming up when you Google it anymore. Tell me that's not, like, it sounds like a line.
And not make threats. I think that's ridiculous.
Sounds like somebody reached out from
Makes
jail.
the problem worse.
See, he's reading. This is not paused. This is him stopping in the middle of a sentence. Like, no joke, this is running.
Yeah.
Tell me he's not reading.
And then, you know, they want to make Kelly Long out to be this victim because people had
you know what? They say that
to where she couldn't live.
He says we want to make Kelly out to be a victim, and Jim Terry says we want to make Candace out to be a victim. You know what? Both of them can get fucked, and that's what I said. Go ahead, girl. Before I start going the fuck off, just go ahead and play it.
I just want everybody to notice when it looks like I pause it, he's just staring back down at that messenger box or whatever he's been looking at on his screen and gets kind of like stumbles. He doesn't talk to chat. I am not pausing it. That is how long he just blankly stares at his computer screen. Hold on.
Live in her house anymore and she had to move into a motel or whatever, which I agree. That's not okay. I would never encourage anyone
I still have the grab
to
your
engage
guns
in that
in
kind
the
of
video.
behavior. What I'd encourage you to do is use social media to create awareness, not dox people and not make threats. I think that's ridiculous. That just makes the problem worse.
Well, I'm glad he knows that at least makes the problem worse.
Look at this. What is he doing?
Sitting there reading whatever John wrote him. And I thought John was sick with COVID.
Well, maybe Jeannie, he says John.
And then, you know, they want to make Kelly Long out to be this
victim that was the weirdest
because
I thought that was the weirdest point of like the whole live when he just stopped like that. That was like 20 seconds of silence.
She said, wait, wasn't Annie the one that doxed her? Actually, it was Courtney doxed her in a Facebook group, and she put her address and everything up in a Facebook group. A mother who had 3 little children and one that she could not get back because the dad was pulling his bullshit, had to move out of her fucking house because of these YouTubers and her ex-husband using social media to attack her.
And let me be clear how extreme it was. She didn't move out of her house for a day. She never went back, ever. She had to permanently leave her home. And
he had a GoFundMe of how much money to be exact? Was it what, $300,000 or something like
his
that?
GoFundMe alone got up to 230 something, but that doesn't include the PayPal, the Amazon gifts, anything he was getting under the table. And yeah, Jeannie doxed the address while her grandchildren were in the home.
Yeah. Yep. And now that this case has been closed out and done and over with, and Sophie's moved on and the family's moved on and they're done and over with, the charges have finally been dropped on Jake, which there shouldn't have been charges to begin with.
No. He got to, well, listen, like just to clear, for people who might be confused. All of the original, we're not doing like a whole thing, but this came from the guy made completely false allegations just because he was trying to you know, terrorize his ex. And
Right.
he made also allegations against her fiance at the time. He had made these exact same SA allegations a couple years prior. Like, he does this all the time. He's accused multiple men, her grandfather, like, you know, her, like every guy that she had been with, that of abusing the kids. So that was totally a smear campaign, like destroyed that guy's life, completely unacceptable. However, completely separate from that, her fiance at the time, who she immediately split from because obviously he had to leave the home because of the investigation, you know, and then they eventually completely decided they were never going to get back together because they did not have a good relationship, and he was abusive, like, to her. Like, they had some domestic issues, and last summer he did get arrested because they got into like a fight or something at like a visitation, like because they shared a kid together, and somebody called the police, and like he did get arrested. And so right now, this year, like last week, from last year, that finally was finished, and he got 2 years probation for domestic violence, which he deserved. I mean, it's probably like the right thing. You know, he didn't like, send anybody to the hospital or anything like that, but the punishment fit the crime. And as it's very clear, he does not have all this pull to get out of everything, because here he got arrested, and a year later he, was pled guilty to it. So that's what that is. But it has nothing to do with the original allegation.
Oh, okay, I thought the original charge of the SA bullshit that they were trying to say was pinned on him was like dropped or thrown out, or he was never charged or something like that.
Was never charged. That never had to get dropped because, to be clear, it was completely baseless. There was
we know. Well, I mean, we all knew that, but I just didn't know if they,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they kept, just like they're saying right now in the Summer Wells case, that Don's going to be shipped to Utah and he's going to face all these SA allegations. And then that paper came out and said, no, actually he wasn't. Yeah. He's going to be out in October and he'll be home. So, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't sure.
No, I know, but I don't want people to think that the guy never got falsely arrested because of it, right? Like, the accusations were made and it was fully investigated.
Oh no, but they tried. They were trying.
And then because they couldn't get that to work, they couldn't get the CPI, they just went crazy and they just really went over the top. So when we talk about his charges that he's having, it happened after the case, and it is not, they were not together anymore. It had nothing to do with the kids. And he has he has like 2 years of court supervision and community service now. Okay, so then here's the one thing that I really hate is, like, they just lie constantly about the basic facts of the case. Like, they do it all the time, and they used to have the biggest voice, right? There's nothing we could do, but now it's just glare. And by the way, Will, like, Queen gets the exact same amount of people in her chat as you did tonight, and she has a lot less, like 10,000 less subs than you do. So you don't have the biggest voice anymore. So we're just going to go ahead and clear some of these facts up. This is the Amber Alert one. Oh my God. He's literally, remember, he always said he was mad at Mike. He said, don't take Sophie to Mexico. I don't agree with that. That puts her in danger for her to be on the run in Mexico. Right?
Yep.
Now he's literally talking like, you idiots who got him caught in Mexico, that's so terrible that he ever had to come back, that he has ever been arrested. He's totally changed his tune.
I agree with you.
Here's the weird reading stuff again. Just silence.
And that's another thing. That brings me to some other possible theory that I never
this is hilarious.
That I never really
what the hell a possible theory, my ass.
Hilarious. Listen to this.
Is it possible that one of the reasons why Sophie was never issued an Amber Alert and was never actually and Michael Long was never actually charged with kidnapping or wanted for kidnapping, no arrest warrant was issued for kidnapping, is because that would possibly create national attention, and that would be another thing because there was already attention on this thing. So if that had happened, I agree with you.
Like, no. Like, really? Now he's literally saying that all of Texas then had a conspiracy where they did not issue an Amber Alert, which doesn't make sense, because if they're doing that, then he's saying it should have been Amber Alert, which means she was kidnapped and in mortal danger. They didn't issue an Amber Alert because that would ring the alarm, and the whole country and the president and like the New York Times would like be aware of like everything that's going on in Texas because of Jake Bellington.
Oh, go to hell.
There was no Amber Alert because Amber Alerts are very specific.
Right.
If the Amber Alert only goes out if she left with him of her own free will, even though she's a child and they're going to go get her. He didn't she wasn't yanked off the street and pulled into a car kicking and screaming. That matters. They only would do an Amber Alert if it was that taken by force, physical force, against their will, or if they were taken in the course of an extremely violent crime, like they had murdered somebody, or they attempted to murder somebody, or they held people up at gunpoint to get the child, right? Those are the only reasons if there's an Amber Alert. And then there also needs to be information about a car, a vehicle, right? There's a lot of specifics about an Amber Alert. We've explained this to him and to his minions so many times. So at this point, that girl's got to tell me, like, is he willfully, like, he knows it, the reason why there is an Amber Alert, and he just keeps doing it, to mislead everybody? Or
yeah, and I think he's wanting to get an interview with Mike when he gets out of jail.
He's trying to get an interview with Mike in jail. They're trying to set that up right now.
Oh my God.
He needs to download the app. Listen, I looked into this.
Here we go with the corruption in Mexican jail and the corruption in the United States, and oh God.
And by the way, Will, he screamed at somebody on Friday night.
You know what, Michael? Well, you better hire Jim. You better hire Jim Terry. He'll help you out.
I hope he does. I hope he does hire Jim Terry.
You know what? Jim Terry would have made a fucking stain if he would have got in there in like swimwear when they had that $211,000 GoFundMe.
Yeah, I know, but like Jim and Will did this for free, man.
Yeah, the lawyers, they cut in and grabbed that though. They snatched that shit real quick, like, didn't they?
So that girl, he wants money, period. I know he's desperate. It's a channel, but does he he knows why there's no Amber Alert, right? Like, that's been explained a million times. And is he really one of those super dense people who are like, the haters, we can't listen to anything you say, and he only listens to Michael? Or is he purposely misleading his minions to think? Because he knows we've given him these basic facts a million times. He cannot be this dumb. He screamed at somebody.
That's like him saying he's got the super secret paperwork.
Yeah, well,
don't even
get me started on that. That all came out too. Don't get me started on that. I was like, I have the orders up here, like this man, the termination orders, they're so clear. Like, this didn't just go to the one judge. It was then appealed, and the entire appellate court, right? There's like 5 judges. They review the entire record. They give like this long, typed out, 20 pages of explaining why they're upholding the court's decision. Mike could not have done more to lose his parental rights. He literally did more than humanly possible. I don't think he went to the extreme, and he got every single break in court and due process. It's pathetic that there's talking about he's some sort of victim here. I mean, it's pathetic. And just so you know, Will, since you got really angry at somebody in the chat the other day because they said there was a warrant, because Will is also telling people that there was never a warrant, that he was just accidentally arrested in Mexico because they confused him with another guy named Mike Long, who's a narco drug trafficker. And they decided, and then Collin County was like, oh, they accidentally arrested that guy, Mike Long? Okay, we're going to pretend that we had a warrant out for him. That's really what he's telling people. So just to be clear, Will, do you want to see where the warrant is that he was arrested on? This is the same thing. This is Jim all over again. Why am I doing this? Do you think he's actually going to listen to simple objective, neutral information? No.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
But I just want to put it in his face, right? Here we go. Okay, here's Mike. Here is the interference with child custody felony. This is what he was arrested on. He does not have a case number yet, Will, because he hasn't gone to the grand jury. And he was like, and that is ridiculous. Actually, no, it's not. They have 90 days from the day they arrest him, which was July 7th, to go to the grand jury. So you can, cool your jets and you can wait for the grand jury to come back. But if you open this here, now Collin County said in December that they worked with the FBI and the U.S. Marshals, and he was arrested on this felony interference with child custody warrant. But he doesn't want to believe it, okay? However, we never knew when it went out, right? But if you look here, it's $2 million right now. And then Will's like, $2 million? What is going on here? He's like, the only thing I could think of is maybe it's because he fled and went to Mexico. Yes, Will, that is why. What do you think happens when you literally take off and are a fugitive from justice? But if you click on this, Will, the warrant number, you will see that it was originally a $250,000 bond, and it was a warrant that was received on October 2nd, 2021. So there was a warrant, Will. And none of us knew it before, I know, but now it's here in black and white. You'll still complain about it. And he's like, and they're not even kidnapping, blah, blah, blah. No one said it was kidnapping, but until it comes back from the grand jury, we don't know what they're going for. This is a felony. This is enough.
And the grand jury does not motherfucking play.
Oh, the grand jury is going to, whatever the prosecutors are putting forward, like they're going to, they're probably going to go with it. I just don't know what they're going for. But who knows? I mean, at this point, with this bail, he's going to be sitting in jail for 2 years before he even goes to trial, and 2 years is the max sentence on this particular charge. But we never thought he was going to jail for anything, so I'll take it. So that's Will. That's Will pissing me off today. That's the basics. What has Jim been up to?
Well, just Mike came in and said Kurt's live on Salty's channel, but Kurt's been live on Salty's channel. He goes up there, talks, and then gets down. And another thing, too, though, is I think that's a bunch of bullshit. And the clips that I have listed, I don't know if you guys know Ellen Berg, but I'll tell you right now, she put him in his place, and that shit was fucking hilarious.
It kind of was.
She's an older lady, and she fucking lit his ass clean up.
He said, the nastier you get, the more I like it.
Yeah, I've never listened to like this Kurt guy, but he's like, from what I hear, he's literally on YouTube all the time, which is really not good. But
yeah, he's got. Yeah, as I say, he comes on quite a bit. Well, I mean, his kids do not want him to come up there,
right?
But they really don't want him to go up there, which I really wouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what he's gonna say. Honestly, you really don't. And if you know the YouTube world, you know everything he says is going to get picked the fuck apart. Everything he says is going to be picked apart.
Yeah, people accuse him of being like a murderer and like a rapist. So it's like it's not good. I mean, right. no matter what kind of guy he is, it's not good for him. Lacey H said, I'm disappointed with Salty. I'm not watching him anymore. He left the docs up. Doug did. I don't know what docs that is, but he was also on last night, like talking to Jim. And I mean, he basically thinks like Jim's really good at his job and just needs to like redirect his energy in the right thing. He just like wants to be cool with them. I'm like, no, Jim is not really good at his job. He does not have any good quality. He's not like.
Oh, and you know what? Let me just say this. Duty Ron went live today.
Oh yes, he did. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Listen, and he's going to have Ed
and Profiling Mike. They're all three going to do a show on Dylan Rounds, and it's going to be fucking great. We are going to post it, and I hope everybody's there. I'll be putting out reminders and all that. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to have actual people with knowledge speak on this case.
Jim was whining so bad about that. He went over to Tyler's, and he was like, just so upset about the Duty Ron thing. And then he was talking about, he's like, other people stole these pictures that I gave you and they showed it on their channel and like they're getting like $50 super chats and you know that's my stuff. I got it. That's literally. And then you just hear Tyler go, "What's the biggest super chat you've ever seen?"
I was watching that. I was watching when he said that. I fucking died.
I'll see if I can find something. And we are trying to plan our gym. A gym is going. If everybody saw that, Queen has a live scheduled, right, Queen?
Yes, we have a Tuesday show. We have a Tuesday show. It's very important. Hey, guess what? I just got a call. We got a show on Tuesday. It's gonna be great. We got a special guest and everything coming on. We're gonna talk about who Mr. X is.
Yes. Because if anybody,
did you like the way I did that? Did I do that Jim Terry style?
Very, very good.
Did I do?
Jim,
I come in like a record.
Jim.
Oh, hold on. I got a call. I just got a call. Are you serious? You want to come on the show? You want to talk to Good Egg? Oh, really?
No way.
Are you willing to come on the show and tell her about this right now? Well, I can't keep it a secret. They're calling me a liar. They're saying I'm a scammer. They're saying I never had a football career. Are you willing to come on and vouch for me?
You never had a football career.
Just say you're Mr. X, all right? Just say you're Mr. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
Oh, right. Oh, did you see that where he said he pretended that he thought he was muted and that the audience was overhearing his comments.
I died. That's why I just was mocking his ass. He thought he was muted and he wasn't. He's like, oh, I thought I was muted.
But it was so fake. He like sat down and he's talking on it and then he goes, "No, they can't hear me at all right now. I'm muted. Nobody can hear me." Like, so because he wanted people to like freak out. And then he has like this Mr. X guy come on, that I guess he thought it would be like a really big surprise. Like he was really pushing it. They apparently had this whole elaborate thing, planned out and it was going to be Tuesday, but, we might have to preempt because we kind of knew who Mr. X was within, what was it, like 15 minutes or something like that. But yes, it's going to be on the other channel. I will show it to you where it is right now, actually. So what happened? You said that like recently he got yelled at again by like somebody on Salty's channel and got mad. Because I did not watch. I really can't watch so much of this of these Dylan Rounds channels or like, so like I'll pop in, but
well, I'll tell you right now, something that really had me disgusted was when he went on Salty's channel. He was talking to Ellen Berg and he said something about her. He said something about her husband and the way he referred to him having cancer. He said something about something about, oh, I'd rather have asshole cancer and die. Something he was telling Ellen this. Like he's like, oh, your husband, he's like just being nasty as fuck.
He was talking about Ty's wife Phyllis on there too, and he was saying that she like had AIDS. You know, she has like lung cancer or something. But you know what? People want to hang out with them, and these are people who associate with them. I don't associate with them, so they have to work through that.
No, and you know what Duty Ron said today? He's like, I will never, ever, I will never stoop that low to even speak to that person. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just will not put myself even in that position to speak to him.
And he wants to so bad. Even today, Tyler was like, would you ever go?
But I don't speak to trash.
Yeah, I would. So in 45 hours, who is Mr. X? Let's have a chat. Special guest.
Yep.
And people are putting in your chat over there, Queen. People are like, Mr. X is JT. It's not JT.
I don't think it's JT either, but we're gonna have to figure it out together. We're gonna throw up some stuff and we'll all figure it out together.
We threw it in the think tank. We have some theories.
Right on in the think tank.
Cappy, are you coming up? So I want Cappy or that girl starting to come up.
Yes, I thought they were going to come up here. Well, I was going to say, hold on. I need to go find these clips though real quick because, here. And you know what? Let me say this for the dumbass that wants to keep coming on here and saying, they're streaming you. They're streaming you.
You didn't stream them.
Yeah, okay. Even if we listen, no, we didn't actually. Oh, and you know what? Yeah, that's another thing. I was gonna go over his funky ass show from Friday, but it's a fucking waste of time. It's a whole bunch of dumb shit. But there was a lady that came on there. He was like, "Oh my god, is this Queen Bee?"
You would love for me to call in on your funky ass fucking show. It will never happen. I will never waste my fucking time to ever call in on your funky ass piece of shit show ever.
Yeah, you did not.
Don't ever fucking look forward to my call ever.
And I said, because after the second one, I said, I can never stream him again. That was painful. And I'm not the kind of person who pretends like,
oh my god, it put me into a fucking bad mood listening to his funky ass for 5 goddamn hours. I couldn't fucking take it. I said, I'm fucking done. I am done. We cannot fucking do this again.
And I'm not one of those people who pretends like I'm above stuff. Like, I wouldn't be like, I don't even care. I don't even watch it. I don't know. I will hate watch it 100%. Like, I will never pretend I'm above it. It was just literally that bad and that boring. I can't do it. I'll just look at a clip or something. Blonderella, you're in a rage over which? There's so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say shit. Last night he was on Salty's channel like 5 fucking times. He just pops up there and wants to add his commentary in there. Oh, and listen, let me tell you something else. Last night he decided he was gonna talk about this, and I will ask Salty if I can put his clips up and play his clips, but until I get his permission, I'm not gonna fuck with it. Anyhow, though, on there he says, well, why hasn't anybody from the FBI called me? Why? Oh, and I'm just gonna tell you, this is his words, not mine, okay? This is his words. So anyways, why hasn't the FBI called me? You know why? You know why they'd have to call me? Because you know why they won't call me? Because they're gonna have to tell me to shut my fucking mouth. And guess what? They're gonna have to tell me I'm right, and that vindicates me. They're just gonna have to tell me I'm right. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Since when would an FBI agent call you and tell you to shut up because you're right? You cannot be this fucking stupid. You cannot be this fucking stupid, Jim. You cannot be this fucking stupid working as a PI. Fucking cut it out.
Like, he's sitting at home and he's like, every day he goes to bed and he's like, Joe Biden didn't call me today. I guess it's because he knows he would have to tell me I was right about everything. Like, that's the only reason that he's not important.
Yeah, he sounds so ridiculous. Then today he gets on there and listen, he's on Tyler's stream today. He's like this. He's like, well, did you see Duty Ron show? I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, well, what'd you think about Candace and her family going out to dinner? They went out to dinner.
He was so mad. He was so mad.
And Tyler's like, well, I mean, they have to eat. And he's like,
he did say that. It was really funny when he said that.
He's like, they have to eat. And he's like, well, yeah, they have to eat every day. But, you know, they technically got paid for that interview. She got paid for that. And you know what? Everybody should be mad that she's not searching for her son. Black Doug, everybody, Doug, JT, everybody, all of us. We should all be upset.
That's why it made Tyler think about because that was a $500 super chat, and that was a conversation that made them be like, "Have you ever? What's the biggest super chat you ever saw?" And he was like really mad about it, and then because he wants super chats, and then this is Jim, and then he was really like so mad that Candace got like a dinner, like, you know, because she has family and friends and like you know, actual social connections, and she can go out, and somebody gifted her with a dinner. He was so angry. So then he tried to downplay. He's like, it was like a step above like a golden corral, and Tyler was just.
He's like, I like Golden Corral.
I like Golden Corral.
He's like, I like Golden Corral shit.
And he's like, if anybody, we got feedback, baby.
From me?
It's Cappy, yeah.
Damn it.
Hey, that girl.
You girls on here?
I heard Cappy. I don't hear that girl yet.
You on here, that girl?
I see her.
Is it bad? Like, is it cracking or something?
No,
or does it just sound like wind?
Feedback, like I can
Give me
hear
just a
myself
second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's wind.
Okay. Oh, and you know what? Jim Terry always wants to talk shit about everybody else. He's like, you can't even work the shit. Don't call in if you don't know what you're doing. Why did he call in tonight on Tyler's and have feedback like a damn dumbass?
Oh yeah, he gets like he's really agitated during his lives. That's why I can't listen to it. It's just the worst.
He gets all pissed off and like screams and shit. Why the fuck are you? You go smoke some weed and sit down or something. You're doing too fucking much. You always fucking mad. Like always, I feel like he's got that vein popping out in his fucking forehead.
Mm-hmm.
He's always fucking mad. Always.
And it's like he's like his voice is like it's like straining. It's not just that he's being loud. It's like straining. It's like up in his throat, and like it just sounds. It just is like nails on a chalkboard. Oh, Queen, would you let back in my screen? I have one more Will clip. Because Will's gonna win tonight, guys. I'm sorry, but Jim, stuff in the past does not count. He is not bringing his A game since Friday. Will is bringing his A game of like pure evil. So Will's definitely. I
didn't go get the clips. I need to go get the clip of Jim talking his bullshit.
So here's where he decides to tell everybody that Jake destroyed evidence, and they wrote it right there. They just wrote it out, and they said he destroyed evidence. I guess we have to let him go.
Appeal. Notice of intent to destroy evidence or waiver preservation. I find that really interesting. Now, I don't know the details of that. The rest of it says discovery stipulation, bill of cost, address change notification, all what seem to be just details. They just seem to be, formalities is the word I was looking for. So, but this is what sticks out to my head here. The notice of intent to destroy evidence or waiver preservation.
What a damn
this
dumbass.
happens the same day that his charges are dropped.
Oh my God. You just sound so fucking stupid.
Does
And listen
anybody
to this.
find that odd? I mean,
Let's see here.
Is
Make
is
it
there
stop.
anybody with legal
Make it
knowledge
stop.
that could
He doesn't know what adjudication means.
No.
He's a fucking idiot.
But now listen. I'll be honest, Cappy. I'm like, I know a lot of words, but when I came in here, I had no idea what adjudication meant. Like when I started like with the whole long thing, and
I'm gonna address David real quick. He said
Thank
Jim
you.
Terry owns you. Jim Terry doesn't even own the fucking camper he's living in, staying in at the campground right now. So fuck him.
Whoa. Did you guys hear this? Did you hear what Jim said today? He knows everybody's looking for him. And he says everybody's looking for him, and they're pretending they're looking for him because they want to serve him. But he told Tyler that the real reason
I heard that whole funky ass speech. And we can play it if you want.
They want to know about him. They want to know all about Jim Terry. They want to know if he has kids, if he's married, what his house is like. Like, no, Jim.
Oh, did you hear that part about like how the reason why he doesn't want to give out his attorney's information is because he doesn't want his attorney harassed.
Right.
And I saw someone in the chat say like, okay, then you get it. Like
Natasha
you don't
said the
want
same
people
thing.
being harassed. Like, you know what I mean though? Like and then Tyler's little innocent boy acting ass, looking ass, comes in and says, it's really frustrating when people go after you with just an avatar and a fake name. I know. You know, like, I'm so over that kid over there with his little act, dude. I'm fucking serious.
Is that the Prey guy?
He's so young. He's not a kid. He's like 32.
That's not a kid. Is that the guy that prays a lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't like that.
That was a good voice you did, though, Cappy.
I'll tell you what, though, today
Maybe
we didn't get a. What do you say? Hey, what do you say when you sneeze?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh,
God
that's right.
bless
Nobody
you.
sneezed. They were throwing up super chats for the super chat train. But listen, he didn't say bless you, and he didn't say I honor you. He said,
I appreciate that.
No. You know what the super chats were for today? He would dare you to do something.
Oh my God.
He dared somebody to drink a bunch of pickle juice, and he dared somebody to eat a tablespoon of mustard.
And that was their church service today?
Oh,
Yeah.
He sounds to be real fun at parties. Look out.
Look out.
That triple dog dare you to drink pickle juice.
I think
He didn't even
let's
triple
pray
dog
about it,
dare
boys.
anybody, bitch. He wouldn't even go that far. It was just a singular dare.
I think that he's getting ideas from Jim. Because remember, Jim wanted to like have people eat sticks of butter and stuff. I think these guys are like collaborating.
How fucking stupid is that?
God, that was so dumb.
That's such a waste of good butter, too.
Yes, it is.
No one's gonna do it.
Fucking
I'd
ridiculous.
paid like a whole $1 for a stick of butter. If somebody eats it, I might slap them.
Ugh, that's just gross me out.
He's like, oh, we're gonna pay people to shave their eyebrow off, and you know what? If they come back the next week, we're gonna pay.
Oh my god, that's good.
We're
Somebody-
gonna pay him another $100 to have half an eyebrow because that's so fucking funny.
Oh my god, I cannot, dude.
That is
And I-
entertainment for Jim Terry TV.
Oh, that
And
is
I
one
and
thing
I
was
also
gonna-
cannot with the postmenopausal ladies that are coming in your comments, like
God.
dragging you for filth because you're stealing and pirating their boyfriend Jim's content.
Stop stealing my content, Laura. Stop stealing my content.
I was gonna tell Good Egg.
Oh yeah, listen
I-
to this. Oh, you guys.
What? From
Last
that?
night, yeah, it was said. Yeah, that's exactly what was said.
What?
Me and Laura. Me and
Yeah.
Laura talk about. We talk shit about all the women who are going through menopause. And you know what?
Jeez Louise.
This is what Mr. X had to say. Mr. X had to say. We talked. Laura and Queen B. That Laura and that Queen B. They talk about women who are going through menopause, and they shouldn't be doing that.
Are you for real?
Because guess what? They can go longer.
Oh my
That's funny,
God,
wasn't it, Jim? Jim, that was funny, wasn't it?
Oh my god, I'm done, dude.
Sound like a fucking dumbass. Like a
I'm
set of dumb fucks laughing in their goddamn bedroom.
Like a
Right.
set of dumb fucks.
Like a fucking set of dumbasses.
Oh
I
my
feel like
God.
First of all, me and Laura have never made fun of anybody going through fucking menopause. Are you kidding me, you dumb fucks?
And I'm not
Second,
making fun of them. I'm just like making a
it does
point
not
to
mean
say
you
how
can
old
have
they
sex
are.
longer, and it's not fucking funny. So you guys sound like total dumb fucks laughing at that shit.
I'm just making a point because Jim likes to talk about how hot the chicks are and how young the chicks are
He's
that are
never
like
happy
being
with
nice to him. And
Calls in.
I really
But I
like,
ain't got one.
from the sound of most of the women that have called in and talked to him, they're older ladies. And I'm a female. I'm going to go through menopause someday. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just making a point to point out their age to Jim, not to them. I'm not shaming the ladies so much.
Well,
Shit,
they-
if you're lucky, you'll go through menopause.
Yeah.
Goddamn, man.
Whenever
Right?
they say, how old are you? And they'll be like 50, 56. And he's like, gross. Did you hear what he said to that woman who said, she's like, how tall are you? She's like 5'10". He's like, wow, you're tall. How much do you weigh? And she said,
He said 120 pounds.
No, she said, I'm losing.
No, she said 240. He's like, Jesus Christ, get off my panel right now. How much did you weigh? 240 pounds, and what did you weigh before?
Up on her.
Oh my God. Oh, she was honest then. No, because one chick called in and was like, I'm 5'9", 120 pounds. And I was like, oh my God, that bitch is lying. But like,
That's disgusting.
I'm like, you're going to blow away in the wind, lady. Like, what the fuck is that?
Was that, were you
Oh.
gonna say something before, or was it the same thing as what Queen said?
Who, me?
I feel like I cut you off or something. Like you were saying. something.
Yeah, no, I was going to tell you something a couple of times, but it's not about that guy. I think that if you really put a little bit of thought and effort into it, you'll know exactly who is writing what Will is reading. And it's not anybody as important as somebody from the family. It's his mods, dude. They obsessively followed the case. They know every single detail. And he still has people write him outlines.
And they still got it wrong. That's crazy. If they've been following us since day one, they should at least get the shit right.
At
Yeah,
the same
but they all
time,
believe
though,
that, though. They all believe that, though.
Right.
Remember?
they all believed it, but he's activated. He has become activated again ever since Mike got arrested and John emailed him. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't been activated this whole time. It's like he's something, like he's working real hard right
like
now.
Holy Spirit,
He's broke,
activate.
yo.
That's a
Holy Spirit, activate.
She said
Holy
activate.
Spirit, activate.
I think shut up, bitch.
I swear to God, that's what I thought of right away. Like Holy Spirit, activate.
Holy
no,
Spirit,
that's for
activate.
Tyler. Sorry, that's Tyler.
Have you,
Bitch, I'm the backup
Will is
singer.
like inner demon activate. Like
Oh,
I am not joking. I literally thought that I had paused my YouTube before. Have you ever seen anybody like have like a silent pause without moving or blinking for that long?
Natasha.
That was 25 seconds.
Natasha for even longer.
I never watched Natasha.
You can watch her in 2x speed and still get those pauses.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it was awkward.
Jody
It was-
Sue. Jody Sue does it too.
You pointed out why he's doing this already. 13.1K and he can't even get 100 in chat. And
On Mike Long.
you grossly exaggerated his numbers. The only time that he made it up to 1,500 or more in his chat is when Bridget had her fake cancer fundraiser.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when Truthy died, that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was lucky to get 150 or 200. You said he had 1,500 all the time. No, he didn't. He had
Such a liar.
He had those numbers twice.
What a liar.
When
Oh
he
my
did
God.
he had Mike on and stuff, he would have like 500, and he had a lot less.
No, dude, I was his mod. I was there every time.
No, she's right. He would have not more than 300.
Dude,
He had a lot less.
The only time that ever happened is if there was a major fucking scandal, or he would bust over 200 if he got so drunk that he was slobbering and passing out on panel. Then it would shoot up a whole lot whenever he'd black out. But no, dude, I was there all the time. There was not that many people in his chats. Nope.
Wow.
If Annie came on panel, he'd hit maybe 300. Right. Maybe.
Somebody said earlier they saw the thumbnail and they were like, they didn't know that Jim was bald.
I didn't know he was bald, but it's not shocking. He always has on a hat.
Him and Will are both hat fishes.
Shut up.
I didn't make that shit up. Someone else did. I wish I made that shit up.
Hair in his head. He's not like a, because like I also feel like Jim doesn't really have eyebrows. Anybody notice that?
Yeah, he doesn't have much eyebrows.
He doesn't seem like he has like any hair on his head.
Yeah, they were hate watching. Pecan, a lot of them were y'all hate watching.
Yeah, it was us. Like getting blocked by
Well, I would try to chat, but I got like 6 of my Captain Napkin accounts blocked. So
he made us, dude. Y'all weren't allowed in the chat. And then he would act like it was our fault y'all were blocked. And he'd say he'd unblock y'all, and I'd be like, yo, they're waiting.
He never did.
I ain't unblocking those bitches.
Oh no, and he's such a baby boy. I'm serious. Like oh, I don't like to silence people. I let people say what they want unless they're doxing. No, you don't, motherfucker. Because I always was trying to be on my best behavior to not get blocked, to say things, to like correct some of the lies he was telling, right?
I already know, girl.
And immediately, like on site, he'd like I could tell he was reading my comment, and he would do a lot of the blocking of me. Like, let me read this right here.
All the time, yes.
So he blocked
asshole.
If you were not a pro Mike person, you could not be in the chat at all. I think he had a block list of like 1,000 people at one point, like by my like estimation, because there was not a single person. And you think about like all the socks, like I have 1 million socks that are blocked by everybody.
Oh, and you know what? I went in there one time with the sock account, and I was like, "This is no fun at all." Oh my God! Look at that!
Stop.
Is my worst nightmare?
One. Oh my God, bitch! I can't. Holy hell!
Too much.
But no, I wanted Will to know it was me talking, so I would always number my accounts like Cappy number 2, Cappy number 3, Cappy number 4, because I just couldn't not say what I wanted to say.
Yep.
Well, I would try, but like, you know, with me, it's like if I would go in there, be like last summer, I guess, and he'd be like, "Good egg, you're so stupid. Get out of my chat." You know what I mean? And then
he gets so mad at you. Oh my God.
If I go in, I ever notice if I ever go in and under sometimes I have socks that are still just supposed to be funny, like it's still a good joke, but it's like a male name. And so they assume I'm a guy, and then he's like really nice and like
more low key with you,
and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, good point, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh my God,
good point. I get where you're coming from, but," instead of like, "Oh, look who's here."
Well, I'm kind of reveling in this now because the last time I talked to him, and I've never spoken to him before, is when he came up on this channel, and I was very, very viciously mean to him, and that's what I ever talked to him.
Idiot.
Now, Queen has as many people on her panel, like watching her lives as him. So if he wants to try to come back and do this, now we can come up here and rebut him, and it makes me laugh. It's funny to me. He looks miserable today. Like he was being really, really zealous. Like Kelly is bad. She's a horrible mother. We have to help my dad.
The only person that is trying to protect these children is in jail.
Super zealous, but he seemed so like lacked energy. At the end of it, he was like, "I guess this is like bye."
Honey, that's called a hangover, baby.
Bitch,
yep.
I can't. Not just any hangover, an oak leaf hangover.
He's pickled his brain with $4 Walmart wine.
Yeah, him's a wet head by now. Shit.
Oh, beyond, dude. I think he was getting there that time that he had cussed me out. Like, I think he was already tipping the scales, and that's been well over a year ago.
Yeah, him's a wet head.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking jackass. I can't believe him. The audacity. Like, fucking Michael Long's a stable person. Like, he's so stupid. He goes through, without kind of realizing that he's saying it, he'll talk about how unstable Michael is. Like, I was mad about Michael doing this and that, and you know, and fucking and choosing his mate over his kids, but he's a more fit parent for sure.
Michael
like,
cares more about the next internet twerp he can fuck than he does those children by far.
Exactly.
He left them. He has 4 children. He only took 1, so he abandoned his kids. Okay, so he does not care about his kids. He completely left them forever, on purpose, by choice.
And it's like, you can say he wanted to protect his kids all you want, but by Michael himself, saying things such as, well, we had to make a choice, talking about sending the boys home, okay? And then the accusations he made against the boys, and also his mother coming into a chat and saying that Courtney made him choose. It was either she went or the boys went. Now that is not that right there tells me he doesn't want to protect any of his kids.
No, even if that was true, why does that make him look better? Gina Gotti, Will has a channel. Yes, he is called the Glarer. And if you're like
We're
me,
not linking him.
What does the Glarer mean? Because the Glarer is not a word. Is this people? Is he stare at them really hard? Is he the one who glares?
Oh no!
But when you get there, you're gonna find out that the Glarer is actually this really unnecessarily long acronym that is made up of all these values.
And it's got like 4 A's in it, so he's really like the glare.
And these words came to him, and it's basically all these values that he does a really good job of exemplifying not having.
He was going to unalive himself, and he decided rather than get put on meds and get psych help, that he would make up his own 12-step program, and that is where the glare came from, girl.
Yes. That's exactly where the glare came from.
I've heard that story.
I don't like BX Beast Boy, but when he said that shit about, like, you know, who needs therapy when I got my acronym, and I about fucking fell out, dude. I was just like, oh my god, this fool. Who needs it? I got an acronym.
It makes sense, though, because it's like the acronym is not a word, right? So it's like either you have like the words in the acronym are really important, so you make it into a word that's kind of like a word, right? Like you needed that GLARER, right? You needed it, and you made glare, okay? Or you pick a good word, and then you put it. He just has random ass words that like are not necessary. You could have changed
gratitude.
Oh, Lacey, it's serious, Lacey.
Accountability.
It's serious. It's serious.
Rational, logic.
It was logic, not love.
Oh, logic. Sorry,
gratitude, logic, acceptance, accountability, awareness, rationality.
It sounds like a scammer.
What's the E for, bitches? Empathy and
empathy. And
I don't know. I haven't thought about it since I wrote his eulogy. I don't remember.
To be clear, like he should have picked one. If he just picked one and worked on one of them, because he's had that acronym for a while, and he cannot show any of those values whatsoever. Like he's the opposite. He could have just picked like one of them, like gratitude, and just spend like 5 years like trying to show a little bit of gratitude or something like that. Then he could have moved on to the next one. Logic, he's never going to get to logic. He's going to have to hope when he's reincarnated in his next life he can get onto logic or something.
What did I say? It was a stillbirth within his own mind.
Oh my god. That was like the weirdest.
Okay, are you ready? You guys ready?
Yes.
It's gratitude, logic, awareness, accountability, acceptance, rationality, empathy, and resilience.
Resilience. I only missed one.
Wait a minute.
One.
There are 2 A's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 A's.
There's 3 A's, bitch.
Awareness, accountability, and acceptance.
Why are there 3 A's in it?
It goes gratitude, logic, awareness, / accountability, / acceptance, rationality, empathy, resilience.
But there's only 1 A in Glare.
No, there's
I know.
A's.
Right?
Him because you're not as drunk as him. If you get real drunk and you look at it, then there will be more A's.
Glar.
Yes, it's the Glar. It's the Glar.
Glar.
It's so annoying. Ever since first
I
came
like
to
Psych
YouTube,
Guys
even
better,
before I
dude.
knew it was an acronym, I thought it was a really annoying fucking
Yeah.
name.
Too.
Yeah,
Now
no, it's
I
the
can't believe that I
original
just found out there's 3 A's.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's the GLAARER.
Oh my god, I cannot.
Dude, I like Psych Guys the best, the gluer, because he's a
Gluer.
total glue
The
sniffer,
gluer.
dude.
Oh, it's so funny.
He's a
Here,
total
you
glue
guys,
sniffer.
I got this pause real quick. Listen to Jim on Salty's live last night. All pissed off. Listen to what he says.
One pair of boots a year. This kid was, I mean, you saw when he was living. And I don't care what Duty Ron says. I got a 25-year-old son that lives in Italy. Nobody
So
lives that
jealous
way.
of Duty Ron.
You should not be living by yourself. You got kids, Jim? I'm sorry? You got kids? No children. You don't
Salty calling him out.
None.
He
Thank
said,
God he doesn't have children.
I was 18. I've known a lot of teenagers, whether I played college.
he said, you got kids? And he said, no. And he said, do you have kids, Jim? And he said, no, none. No.
But we just want to find him so we can find out if he has kids. And
I'm super glad
Right.
Duty Ron's
He
on the
tells
case,
all-
yo.
Exactly. He tells all his business. Now, hold on. I'm going to pop the one on from today with him and Tyler.
I agree, Karmic Vibes. I'm super glad that Duty Ron's on the case, man. He's a respectable dude. I like him. He's a really chill old man, and you can tell he cares. I respect him. I don't watch a ton of his content, but I really like him. No, Blonderella, let him keep stepping. He'll get what he gets.
all right, well, before she comes back, but that girl, if he was not on his panel and I was just talking directly to him and we just showed him that website, like here, the warrant came out on October 1st, would he still, because like we're telling him that, like, that's not real?
You first off, he would get very angry because he doesn't like reality. But second off, he'd be like, yo, because his fucking dad's in the police department. They changed that shit, man. Did you see it before? This a bitch you fucking did.
They destroyed the
It's because
evidence.
it wasn't fucking there, man. Come on,
They
man.
destroyed the evidence. It's just so, I can't stand that. And he dares to have
know.
logic and
I already know.
rationality in his little acronym.
Girl, I already know.
You know what he said, Cappy? You know what Jim said about Duty Ron today? He was like, he's one of these old guys. He's like in his 60s. He's like in his 60s. He's a 6-year-old guy, and he just wants to come after a young guy like me because I'm 45. I'm younger than him. I'm like, you're not young, dude. Like, I'm not saying he's not 45 is young, but like, he's so delusional.
Not really. He's like 12 mentally.
Yeah. Well, no 12-year-olds don't act like that though. See, you know me because I'm like around, with like kids that age all the time. And so when people are like, they act like middle schoolers, I always tell people, this is not how kids act in middle school. You guys are just dysfunctional adults.
No, I substitute taught for a little bit. And you're right. The kids were way more mature and respectful than us.
It's about being
They
like
really
a good
were.
person. They were probably
there were a couple that were shitheads because their parents were bad, but they still weren't bad kids like these people are.
Right. And I always say like kids are not, even like kids that are bad, like they're not bad yet until they get locked in place. And as you get adults, at some point they get locked in place and it's like, I got no time for you. But when they're young, they like, it's not. It's about you're individually a shitty person. You are a shitty adult, that you were a shitty kid. It's not because you act immature. Like kids are great.
Allie Joe, I don't think we determined a winner. I think
It's
that
gonna be
the tie.
No, because Jim's just done. This is not the crazy stuff for Jim.
This isn't crazy stuff for Will either. I think you just got deluded. You had enough of a break away from Swell that you got deluded and forgot. This is him.
But I can't believe he's resurrecting it. I know I can.
But wait, I also know things that you don't. So I will just say that.
Tell me the inside secrets, or just tell me what you're.
No, I don't tell secrets.
No, I mean,
just say that he needs the money. Nina, we met in a Watts Facebook group, and he started his channel basically about awareness for people who wanted to unalive, and his channel was pretty chill for a while, and then the case that he's resurrected. It's not even a case. I don't want to call it that, but the private lives of people that he is broadcasting again came along, and him and another creator who lost her channel being a crazy ass went at it really hardcore, and he got involved in a bunch of scandals, so he got a few more followers, and then he started acting like himself, and I realized, holy shit, what am I a part of? And I left, and then I got attacked for like 6 months, and now here I am, like practically best friends with some of his arch enemies. It's really fucking funny how that worked out.
Dark side.
That's the dark side.
Like, and then people think when we talk about how our two different sides were, the animosity was extreme, and it's not like the animosity between like Doug's channel and Laura's channel.
It was like hate.
It was, because it wasn't like with like Natasha, or because with all those other channels, people go back and forth. Like they're in with this guy, this creator, out. But let me be clear: this was
we with the mean bitches.
They never changed their mind. We never changed our mind. It had nothing to do with the creators. It was like around the mic thing, you know.
They literally dubbed themselves the child's name and the word army, and then Kelly's army, and they fucking fought it out like banshees every goddamn day for almost a year.
They were insane.
Y'all went lower than low, and then there were some very high points, but it was mainly lower than low.
I normally kept my head. I normally kept
thanks, Nina.
Fry.
CK is actually how I came to YouTube to begin with. Her and Jay did like a murder rap sesh, and then they broke up, and but it was the Watts case that brought me here. Actually, that would be I met Will 4 years ago this month, here in about 2 weeks. It's been 4 years. So I'd say, yeah, he's had his channel for about 3 then, guys. I think that would be the right answer. He got banished from all the real true crime groups for being a prick.
Yeah, but I mean,
Look, you know what, though? I got to bounce back over here to Dylan with the whole gay situation, because that came out, the whole gay thing came out with Jim. Jim made that rumor up and started pushing it and spreading it and all that. And, you know, his mother did not say that he was gay. She never once said that. She said
she didn't.
If he was, she would love him no matter what. Again, on his last night, again, here he goes with the bullshit. I'm about to play this real quick, and this is him going off once again with his bullshit.
I don't understand why he's so obsessed.
Not an entire fucking town. We're talking about an entire town of people.
We're talking about an entire town of people. Hold on, an entire town of people of what? An entire town of what? 50 people?
If that,
and
girl.
only one person in there said that he was eating fruit and he came over and had red lips. That means nothing.
What? He was eating fruit and came over and had red lips, and this is being relayed to us. Why?
No, that girl. You know how like they said that the older guy was a cross-dresser? Remember this?
Yeah.
They said, okay, the cross-dresser thing is because at one point he was eating fruit and so his lips looked red. It's like, you like to cross-dress, like that's lipstick.
Oh, that's some hick shit right there. Only some hillbillies would say that.
Well, I'm
yeah, no, he just said that he's like, he said something about the only thing that he ever seen. He's like, have you seen him dress in drag? Have you seen him dress up like that? Dylan, do you know? Talking about Dylan Burke. He's like, have you, talking about Kurt.
Wow.
The guy that was friends with Dylan.
The suspect, right?
Kurt's he kept saying that. Right? And Dylan was like, no, the only time I've ever seen him with red lips at all ever was when he was eating fruit, and I walked up, knocked on his door. Like, I've never seen him dressed like that. He's like, I told you he was gay. I knew it. I just knew it. I knew he was dressed in a dry. See, I just knew it.
And Kurt is not he's their suspect. He's like Jim and like Doug's suspect.
Right, he's Jim and Doug's suspect.
Who is the one?
He's not the fucking police's suspect.
Hold on. Then who's the one that the cops were investigating?
Jim Brenner is in
He's in jail. The one that should be in jail is in jail.
Okay, good. There's so damn many of them. It's hard to keep them all straight. This is actually, ladies, don't you think that this is one of the cases that is mainly like a male cast, for lack of a better way to put it?
Yeah.
Like, there are females and
Except
Yeah.
Candace, but she's not really part of it. He's just making her.
That's just her Ken. Like, there's a lot of men involved in this case. It's weird.
Well, I think there's just like a lot of older guys, lonely guys out there, and something happened.
That's the demographic
Involved, and then the YouTube thing started reaching out to them, and like I don't. Most of these people do not need to be names in this case. They're just people who live near there. You know.
I wish there was a way we could pay for billboards, like a couple in every state on the busiest highways, that says if you're a crime victim, stay the fuck away from YouTube.
Yeah, like do not get loud. Okay. Do not get loud and stay loud. Do not start an army. Like, don't like it's not gonna help you the press. It's not gonna help you it's not gonna help you in court. It's gonna fuck you over in court big time.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, here he goes. Ready? Listen to what he says.
Entire town of people that all seem to have the same rumor, whether they spoke to each other or not. Forget Kurt Wadsworth.
Oh, forget Kurt Wadsworth now.
You start and listen, Mr. Maine, you and I spoke. What do you think?
Forget Kurt Wadsworth. Now that they've fucking ruined his life, talked shit, brought his kids into this, said he was gay, said he was a cross-dresser, said he did this, said he did that, accused him of this, defamed him here. You know what I mean? Oh, just forget about him now. Just forget about him.
Forget Kurt Wadsworth. Forget Kurt Wadsworth. His voice is like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Well, he
said Salty's mod, I guess, had been talking to him. His name's Eric. Now, he had been talking to him, and he seems to be like the voice of reason. Like, he's real calm. He seems to be really cool, really laid back. I guess him and Jim had talked a few times, and this is Jim yelling at him. Are you ready?
Yeah. He seemed like a heterosexual male to you?
But I know a lot more
than a heterosexual male to you. You don't want to say now because you got.
I will say.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me
go ahead, Eric, and answer that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I will say. I've been in and out of phases with Dylan of thinking he could be gay. Just what I said to you with the look in his eyes.
The look in his eyes. I hear it one more time.
Now this was in the very beginning.
He thought that, because listen, this is the thing. When you look at the case and you look at this and you think, okay, and we were talking about the same situation the other night. When you look at this and you look at this case and I just see a young male, that's went missing, who lives on a farm, I don't see Dylan as gay to me. Like, he doesn't seem like, saying he would be gay. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just don't get that feeling from him. However, now that it's already been put out there and it's been put in people's heads, that is what they see. That is what they hear. So it leads them to believe that sometimes it's hard for them to think that. Sometimes they do think that because that has already been placed in the back.
It's because like that guy you had on your panel, Queen. Who was it, girls, that y'all were talking to that night? It was such a fucking long live, and I was like in and out of chat, but I listened to the whole thing. And he kept saying dumb shit about how whenever he sees pictures of Dylan, he sees himself as a lonely, repressed gay boy or something. And I was like, what?
That was what. Yes. Look, just to be clear, everybody, because I was just
projection much. Like,
when
what the
people
fuck?
say that they think he looks
Black Dove.
Can somebody look gay? Like, sure. I mean, yeah, you could look at somebody and you could say for some, gay people, you'd be like, they look gay. I kind of tell. He's not gay, and I hate how they say, "Oh, why do you deny he's gay? What's wrong with being gay?" Like, stop.
What's wrong with being straight, bitches?
It's like I'm straight.
Anything that's so stupid.
Like, if somebody told me, like, if somebody said, I'm a vegetarian, and they tell me that I'm not a vegetarian, and they say, what's wrong with being a vegetarian? It's just so stupid. But this is what they say. The look in his eyes, they say, they see the sadness in his eyes. From one picture, they can see the sadness in his eyes, and they know that means he's gay.
I thought he looked pretty fucking normal.
Sadness.
And then listen, here's Eric. Here's clarifying.
Let me
go ahead, Eric, and answer that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I will say. I've been in and out of phases with Dylan of thinking he could be gay. Just what I said to you.
Just by the look in his eyes is what they're saying.
Same.
Now, this was in the very beginning.
But then he clears it up and says,
now I've seen more about Dylan. At the time, I didn't know about things about his family and things that he went through. So now I can see that pain could be a lot of other things.
See,
you don't know what he went through. That's why.
A friend of mine in Nebraska.
There is people you can look at and know.
Right, but I'm saying, like, now that he's starting to know, like, it's because that thought has already been placed out there. A lot of people have that in their minds because Jim put that thought out there.
Yep. You know, I've met guys that I knew, like,
Right.
you know, the people who purposely put the lines in their eyebrows so you know they're gay. Or there's, you know, dudes that wear a lot of makeup. Obviously, they could be, but in this day and age, maybe not. But they could be gay. Eyeliner, mascara, long nails. There's a million indicators that you could tell by looking at somebody that they could prefer that lifestyle. And I didn't see any on that child.
But the other thing is, I think a lot of times you could look at somebody, they don't have to even be like that stereotypical, and like maybe you could tell by looking you think they're gay. But in any of those situations, was it ever because of the sad look in their eyes? Is that a thing?
All my gay friends are fucking happy.
I've never heard of such a thing.
My best friend is gay as fuck, and he's the happiest dude I know 90% of the time.
You know, I just realized that's how Jim knew that Sister Pride was a lesbian. Look at her avatar. Look at the sadness in those eyes.
The sadness in my eyes probably gave it away.
Sister Pride, bitch.
Dead eyes.
Yes.
That's how she.
That's why. I was forced out of the closet by.
That's
Jim
not
Carrey.
sadness. That's hate for you, Jim. Get it right. You don't read very well.
The convent says that they're okay with it though, so it's all good.
They're very progressive convent.
And then, well, yeah, from California, duh. You know.
I don't like what that Eric guy said. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but when he's like, now they know the other stuff in his life, like how he got. What he means is like how his mother abandoned him and how he got, beat by his father and like strangled in the shower. Like, you don't. None of this. This is all Jim's fantasy, right? Like we don't know anything about his actual life really, except he likes to farm. That's like literally it.
Well, and aren't most cowboy types like more stoic in photos anyways?
They're Midwestern. Like, look how stoic.
I was just thinking about that. Like, they try not to move their arms and chest when they fucking walk, and
listen,
they have like that whole thing.
Listen, 90% of the good content Doug has had has come from me. How about the football coach?
90% of the good content from Doug that Doug's had has come from him. Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like he said 90% of the content that
involved with it.
90% of the content.
How a town like that could. I want to know how
90% of Doug's content came from him.
It seems like they're on the up and up to some degree. Okay, the Rounds and the Coolies. Let's just say that they're upstanding human beings. And you don't believe the story of the father that went on the radio show. People said, "Well, there's no content."
Yeah.
Well, didn't come down to dinner fast enough.
He said there's
the
no content.
Doug has had has come from me. How about the football coach whose son was over there when Dylan Rounds was getting choked out and naked?
Yes, I don't believe that.
He made that part up.
Yeah, he's made that up. He made up a lot of shit.
Because I want to know how a town like that could. I want to know how a family that has money, that seems like they're on the up and up to some degree. Okay, the Rounds and the Coolies. Let's just say
his voice.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he didn't make it up. That guy made it up. But
people said, "Well, there's no content." Well, I'll agree.
That guy came on Doug's show, didn't he?
Yeah, but, however, I've heard stories, and there was one thing about like he said something kind of about he put his hands on his neck at one point, and then Jim turned it into like this shower curtain, and then like a week later, I heard him make it up while he was talking. He's like, "Well, I've never heard of anybody being in the shower and not being naked," so he was strangling him nude. Like I heard the day he made it up.
I remember that. So okay, so the guy didn't come on Doug's show?
No, the guy Jim secretly recorded a conversation, and all these people that Jim talks to, they hate him like now because he like basically took their call.
Secretly records, yeah.
And
Allie Joe made a good point that the same thing happened with the SL situation. Women kept saying that they were SL, especially Truthies.
Yep.
And them. Kate is a grown Sophie.
Oh my God.
Remember?
Oh my God.
That's what, and you know what? I hate to say this, but I really feel like Black Dove, and I'm going to address him again because he keeps saying that we called him up here and we made him get up on this panel. We said his name. All he did was comment in our chat, and we said his name. So he came up on this panel and we talked to him. And you know what? Actually, he came in the chat, made a couple comments, and I did ask him to come up here. He could have declined. He could have came up here, answered the question, and then got down. But instead, he stayed up here. And then he said, "Bring Salty up here. You'll get lots of views. We'll have lots of fun. We'll laugh and joke and hang out." But then when he gets over in front of Doug, he's like, "I was like sleeping. I was like half asleep. I didn't even say anything. They made me come up there, and I didn't want to decline because I just thought that was rude." First of all, don't sit there and act like that. First of all,
he wasn't half asleep. He didn't shut up.
Second of exactly why the fuck he's sitting over there being fake and phony, and that's the shit I don't like. And first of all, I feel like he's definitely trying to fucking relate his life and himself to Dylan, and just like the whole SL thing where they had people wanting to say, oh well, she's like a little Sophie. No.
The one thing I do like Black Dove, I do think he's kind of ridiculous, but I think a lot of people are ridiculous, but like he really is like doesn't really want anything to do with Jim. You know what I mean? Like he's so done with him and he hasn't really been around. Like, so, I mean, he just turns into one of those people. Honestly, she's going to be mad when I say this, but I feel like he's kind of the that girl of the situation because when we talk about how we were so divided, there was so much animosity, but then there will be like that person.
Yeah, he doesn't like to get in the drama. I will say that.
Yeah, they like tried to like get them on, like they wanted to like reach out to them, then they kind of become pawns. Like, what side are you going to be on? Like, I feel like that happened to that girl too. Because I like
we did put you in the middle of some really shit situations.
But you didn't belong over here, so it turned out.
That's right. It turned out for the best for all of us.
You know what though? If it weren't for people kind of putting me in those fucked up situations, I would not have stepped back and gotten a more clear view of the situation for what it actually was. Because you know, when you're like all up in the middle of something, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Mm-hmm. You need somebody that's outside the box to give you that view. And I really thought that y'all were just some really hateful bitches. And then I really was like, okay, I started seeing more and more obvious behaviors that were like, oh, these bitches are right. And then I really listened and it was just disgusting. I cried a lot. Yeah. You know, I did. I won't even lie. It still upsets me that bad. That's why I wasn't on here for the first hour. Like, the idea, ooh, look at me stutter. The idea of that family being brought up and back into the bullshit is horrifying to me.
Yep. And it's just whatever. I mean, like, thank God, like, you know, Annie's under whatever legal thing. And he was like, you know, Annie never, ever would have stopped. They were bullied. And I'm like, dude, she wasn't bullied. She took legal advice. You should probably
well, and I know for a fact that she's asked him to stop talking about her a kabillion times. I have not talked to her recently. I don't need to talk to her recently to know that she has asked him repeatedly to stop bringing her up. And he is so disrespectful. He described her to a T, including the children in the situation, and then said he wasn't going to use her name. You disrespectful fuck.
Yeah. He was always so weird about Annie. He'd be like, Annie's like Cinderella. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like, to her face.
She is beautiful and well out of his league. That's why.
Like, he's so misogynistic that even the woman that he was like, you know, nice to and listened to and like did whatever she said, he still talked about her in really misogynistic terms. Like, you know, she's she's like a perfect little princess. Like, you know, like, no.
Allie Joe, there were some people in his comments that are new to his channel that I noticed that didn't know. But yes, everybody else knows. And it's fucking tacky. It's just tacky. Like, and that was the issue. And one of the reasons I left, there's no boundaries. There's no consideration for other people and what you're about to say, what it might put them through. There's no consideration for the truth or like respect for humanity or I could go on, you know that. So I won't, but it's very frustrating. You know, he said he learned and that he knew he should have never been involved in a case like that or had anything to do with trying to have a community that was victims and survivors, and that he doesn't understand why he did that and he never should have done it. And you're going to do it again. Are you that broke that you're willing to hurt people that you've already said you have no business being around?
I mean, he is so, I don't think he realizes how lucky he is that like last summer, obviously he was at the bottom of the list of priorities for KL because her child had been kidnapped, right?
Yes.
But and that he doesn't have a pot to piss in. But does he not understand the stuff that he did? And Paige too. They read out forensic interviews.
Yep.
They streamed inside the I mean, they did things that are so incomprehensible, and they so easily could have been sued. Not like how people on YouTube like, I'm gonna sue you, you're gonna get arrested. It's not, you know, it's like easily could have gotten into a lot of legal hot water, and they just had no concept of like, not only is it just so morally gross, but like, how are you not concerned about what you're doing right now. Like,
bingo, Nina. She says that's where I'm sickened. Like, he doesn't care who it hurts, even SL. Exactly.
He acts like it's about her. They all don't understand. They do the horrible.
Do we have a mod in chat? Because we're being porn bombed.
I'm not a mod, so
let me find my phone.
Let me find my phone. Except I don't like that. Yeah, the spam is annoying. Why doesn't Allie Joe have a wrench?
Oh no, somebody got it. Allie Joe does have a wrench.
Allie does have a wrench.
Yeah, so does Allie and Thumb Thug and a few people.
I can't see the StreamYard. That's the thing. I didn't realize in StreamYard you can't see the wrenches.
No, you can't. You can't see that. You can't see a lot of things. You can't see like what your super stickers are, you know, all kinds of stuff. No, you're good, Allie. Somebody else got it.
Listen to that. Here, you want to hear some more crying about content? It's just audio.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you want me to add that to the stream? I want to hear you're 45 and you work in a fucking gym.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's gonna start watermarking all of his photos.
Who is?
Jim. Like, he thinks it's gonna stop.
Oh God.
That's okay, because guess what? I have all the same photos. Everything that he's got, I got too. And guess what else though? You want to hear what else was funny as fuck? Listen to this. And if Tyler doesn't understand he's being played like a fiddle after I say this, then he's fucking worse than I thought. It's like, are you getting played? Or are you playing along kind of thing? Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So he comes on tonight. Ready? He comes on tonight. I'll play it if you want me to. He comes up on the live tonight. He goes, "Hey, just wanted to let you know that was not a shell casing up on the ground there. It was a socket wrench set or something." Blah, blah, blah.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, "Oh, okay. So why?" He's like, "Well, what'd you know what?" He's like, "So what was up with the picture? You know, something about the pictures." And he's like, "Well, they're all bullshit anyways." He's like, "So why'd you fucking send them?" He's like, "I don't know, just because."
They're both kind of hilarious tonight because Jim was like,
Jim already knew those were a bunch of bullshit fucking pictures, but he had to use Tyler. He had to send him something to make him think they were buddies and that he was really giving him fucking top information and top secret shit. Like all those text messages he has and all those pictures he has, I have them all too. I could release them anytime I fucking wanted to, but I'm not doing that to the family. What the fuck you mean?
they're staring at a little piece of metal, like kind of looks like maybe like a shell case, but it's not, but like a little round thing in the dirt that's like just a piece of garbage in the dirt. And Tyler and he has people on the panel, they're all staring at it. Is that a shell casing? And the one woman's like, "Oh, I can try to do an experiment outside to see what it is." And they're like staring at it forever. And then Jim comes up and he's like, those photos are fucking pointless. And I'm over the fob and I'm over the gun and I'm over the boots and I just don't care. Like, he does not care. And it just like felt Tyler's still like bringing up the same PowerPoint, right? Like every single time. I don't know how people talk about that. I don't know how they've been looking at pictures of dirt.
Hey, let's go over the first 48 hours, Jim. We're talking. He's like, "I wasn't even hired the first 48 hours. I wasn't even there, so I don't give a fuck." That's the exact answer.
Pictures of dirt and saying, "What could these footprints be?" for a week. It's just a picture of ground. It's not. They're not crime scene photos. They're not like from like a case file.
I just can't with people who exploit these cases. I just can't. I can't.
I just don't understand I'm kind of following this because of the Jim thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very interesting to follow like these cases like that. I think this is a pretty straightforward case. I just don't get it.
It seems like it is to me, to be honest. Like, I haven't followed it as well as y'all have, but I feel like I know all the details, not by heart or anything, but I know them well enough to understand that it's not what they're trying to make it out to be.
No, I mean, it really seems like I think I got up one day, I think it was the thing when Black Dove was up, and I'm like, well, my thing is like, I'm just kind of hearing this, guys, but it seems to me like it was one guy who did a terrible thing and killed this kid and is now they know who it is and they're like building a case against him. Yeah. And that's it. And I don't know why you guys are coming up with all these like weird, there's no holes to fill with these weird theories.
Hold on, late breaking news. Hold on.
We don't bring that up. How about Justin Rounds try to run over?
Hey, see, we don't bring that up. We don't bring that up.
He said what? I didn't hear it.
Want to do because you don't want to trigger people. I don't give a shit.
No, that's
I don't give a shit.
Bring them up if it has some valid points too, like the disappearance of Dylan. But talking about Kurt's license and being gator, and when
He's still not in jail. Is he in jail right now, Jim?
No.
No. Has he been listed as a suspect?
Boom.
No.
So what's this factual? What's the word I'm looking
What's
for?
the infatuation with why you obsessed with Kurt Wadsworth and all of his fucking kids and his family and shit?
To you.
Because I think those two had a relationship. I think it started when that kid was 17. That's my own personal belief. And I think they're hiding that. If they would hide something that small, why? And what else are they hiding? I think there's
Oh, wow.
I do not think Kurt Wadsworth killed Dylan, but I think he knows a hell of a lot more than he's ever said. And I'll believe that till the day I die. And that,
Well, hopefully that'll be soon.
I laughed really hard when you said that, but I was muted.
I thought I was muted. These bastards, I'm telling you. I can't help it. Like, these tragedy pimps really get me to act outside of character. Like, those things, like, I don't even really think those things. Like, you can ask people who talk to me a lot. They can be talking mad hella shit about somebody, and I'll just be like, oh my God, you're horrible. Because I try not to be that way, but there's certain people in certain disgusting behaviors that just instantly grate my nerves, and I can't help it.
You just had it, right?
Yeah, I'm like at my like tipping point, right?
Really, she can't handle it anymore.
I thought you were for survivors, Will.
Shut up, bitch.
Great. Like, okay.
I hate you right now.
Getting
Big.
hearts on. You're in the right place. I'm sorry this happened. He's hitting hearts on, man, this was bad, no loyalty.
He's hitting hearts.
Loyalty? I bought you a fucking P.O. box and helped you get your channel back. That's no loyalty.
It was $15. It wasn't even a real P.O. box. Oh, shit. Oh, no, is it over?
Go out there, don't handle it man on. Fucking man. And we don't need to film it. But I'll handle it. There's a thing called mutual combat. To mutual combat.
A mutual combat.
You? I will fucking fly out there, and you and I, man on man, no fucking cameras. That's how we'll handle it. And I promise you, that's real. I've had enough.
It's real.
That's it.
We're going to the field.
I'm not going to go fucking attack him, but I want fucking mutual combat. I don't want YouTube drama.
I'm not going to go attack him.
Mutual combat.
For being a survivor? Nah, we're not playing that. And I promise you, I'll show you what a man is. I'll show you exactly what a man is. So, if you agree to those terms, I swear on my father's grave, I will fly out there. You and I will go to a field, and we're gonna fucking just handle it. That's how I want to handle it, not YouTube drama. But unfortunately, I can't call him. I can't text him. I can't do anything because he can't fucking. He's blocked all of us and took.
No one's scared.
Fucking chat.
He didn't even have a phone.
Wait. Hey, I am.
Yes, Miss B, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is the greatest thing that's ever been on YouTube.
It's pretty close. It's right
like,
on up there.
You don't need to know what it's about. You don't need to know who Truthy is. And it's so good. Because of his voice. It's just so funny.
So ridiculous. He was so mad, like aneurysm busting mad.
Just to be clear to anybody who hasn't heard this before, this man is 1000% serious right now.
Yeah, he's also a crook.
Yeah.
God.
I want to hear Jim Terry. Oh, I wish I could like do a prank where Truthy calls Jim on his call-in show.
Oh my God. Do you know how many people would have PTSD after that?
And it's like, no, like this calls him. Like we call him in and we just have him talking to Truthy, yelling at him about like, you know what a man is? Like it would be hilarious. He would be yelling at the Truthy like recording. It'd be really good.
God. I think every time y'all have an idiot guest up that's saying shit that just proves that they've been totally hornswoggled, y'all need to play that clip of Will saying, I mean, I don't know, did I get played or did I play along?
He's like, maybe I did both.
It's on my channel. Go grab it.
We need to clip that so you can upload it and use it, Queen.
I did. It's on my channel. I'll have to go upload it real quick. But yeah, it's on there. Go grab it.
Good egg. Did you like mute because I can't hear it anymore?
I muted. Yeah, I muted.
Oh, I thought you were playing that through your mic.
We need the one that says you're 45 and you work in a fucking gym.
That is the one. It's
no, I know. I was just like waiting.
I have to say, does she have the part or what?
Yeah, it's just further in.
There's a great 8-minute clip. I could play the whole 8-minute clip, but I was trying.
Oh hell yeah!
Go for it. Shit.
Right. No. Yeah. You think you're a man? You're not. You're 45 years old, and damn it, so am I.
And damn it, so am I.
And you've accomplished fucking nothing in your life, and you're criticizing abuse survivors, Mrs. fucking Magoo.
Oh shit.
No. I'm not going to have it. Oh, are you there, Will? Are you little fucking fruitcake?
Little fucking fruitcake.
Guess what? I didn't block you. You hear me? Good. Then take my fucking challenge. I want to hear you say in my fucking chat. I'll get you on a mic and you're a coward. You're a coward. No, I'm not a coward. I don't block people and run away. You and me, one-on-one, Will. And no fucking cameras.
Mono y
That's what I'm saying. That's the line in the sand. After you said what you said to Mrs. Magoo, that's it. So look at the chat, Will. Look what you did. And afterwards, I'm hoping after you're lying in a fucking heap.
A fucking heap.
In a fucking heap. I didn't block you like you blocked.
You can fuck with me, but you can't fuck with Mrs. Magoo. And what you said, that stupid fucking... Here, Will, take a look at what you said. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you were sober or not last night. You remember this, Will? I am the only... This is Mrs. Magoo. I'm the only one of us three who's been through what Sophie has. And she is. You haven't, and I haven't. And I hope that you will talk to us.
Look what you did.
Great. Talk about it. This is you. Great. Like, great. You don't fucking care about abuse survivors. You care about your stupid ego and acting macho. You work in a fucking gym, and you're 45!
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ on the
But
cross.
they're literally fighting about, like, they were in a group chat, and the girlfriend was like, I'm the only, like, I know what this feels like, and
nah, man, he ran off. Will threw a big O fit, and he ran off and was blocking everybody. And as a last ditch attempt at manipulation,
Kathy said, "Play it again. Play it again."
It was a last ditch attempt at manipulation, and Will's drunk ass actually saw through it and freaked out. That's what happens.
Well, Will was like legitimately freaked out by it.
He
like
DM'd him. Well, and he should have been, because I even told him, I was like, dude, she's gaslighting you. Like they're totally gaslighting you right now. And he figured it out and flipped out.
Remember when Annie offered for them to come and stay at her fucking house?
Oh my god,
Miss Magoo, she did. Yeah, she did for Miss Magoo.
And I was like,
she meant it.
She did, because that was an annoying thing. Because I was like in Annie's Discord under a sock at the time, and like
Bitch.
I was in there for a long time. And I would like try to talk to her like normally, like in the thing, be like, listen, like blah blah. And she was like, I hope that you haven't been listening to rumors. I would be very disappointed. Like, we're trying to help you out here, like, you know, so you can get to where you're gonna get 1 week from now, you know.
Yes.
But she didn't want to hear it.
Work in a fucking gym, and you're 45.
You work.
There was a ton of sock accounts in her fucking Discord. A ton.
Yeah, well then she started she wanted everybody's IDs. People had to send their government IDs to stay in the Discord that they were paying for. I got through so many rounds.
When did she do that? I only remember Kay doing that.
No.
What I remember her doing was creating secret Discord threads that only the
No.
people she trusted
Kay, I
could
don't
go
think
in.
Kay ever asked for anybody's IDs. It was Annie. That's what we used to make fun of. There was a bunch of
Kay did too.
Yeah,
Kay did
memes in there.
Kay
Annie
did it
started
too
it.
then, because I know somebody who had to show ID to get into. They used somebody else's like dying mother's ID and credentials to get into Kay's signal chat, because they had to show ID. So it was both of them then.
Well, Kay, because I remember Kay made fun of Annie because Annie did it first, and everybody was making fun of her. But then, like by Kay eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna say we dogged the shit out of her for that.
And
For
I
the
got past
longest
so many
time. There was
rounds.
memes and all kinds of shit.
I behaved really well because I'm a normal person. So and I never leaked anything from that Discord at all. I was really only in there to see if like anything crazy went in there to like send.
No, it was pretty lame.
The other side, right? Well, she had a couple that she did have like one live that was like a just live, and like she was reading text from Michael, like so I wanted to get all that, but I didn't go to YouTube or like Facebook with it. I would send it to where it needed to be, and but I was really polite, and so every time they did this and they were getting people out, like I would always survive the purges, but Siren Jag like wanted me out so bad, like because like he kept going to her and he kept going to her, and then finally she's like, I need to see an ID, and I'm like, okay, I don't really agree with that, and then she's like, okay, well, thank you, and I had to leave the Discord.
Yeah, I wouldn't show anybody ID to be in their Discord. You can kiss my ass. I don't care who it is. Like, I've never had anybody ask me for one, but if they did, and anybody in chat who's listening, if somebody asked you for that, don't do that.
It's also pointless. Don't you think I could have, if I wanted to, like I could have given somebody else's ID or something?
Of course you could.
Like it's silly.
Unless you're having people go on camera on a video and lift up their ID next to their face, which is fucking psycho. It's not going to do any good.
So yeah. So and then she'd stop doing mic stuff. So then it was really boring Discord, So
I know that Mommy Rambling's blog does the same thing. Dude, did y'all see that they hired a private investigator to look into Natasha?
Oh my god.
Bitch, I laughed so fucking hard. I didn't know if that was even
those old ladies
real.
done pulled $5,000 together to fucking stalk Natasha.
Jim Terry's been stalking the goddamn YouTube streets. I bet Merv hired him.
Dude, would that not be some shit if Jim Terry went after her? Oh,
why would they have to investigate Natasha? She lives her entire life on YouTube. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I know, but they thought they were going to really catch her in some kind of big ass fraud thing. I guess I have no clue. That's all.
People are so
insane
weird
to me.
I do not get that at all.
Insane to me. Like, you could totally pay for somebody's cancer treatment for half a year with that. Like, come on.
Cappy, I completely agree with you. I was very disgusted with Siren Jag and think that, like, I think he was a very destructive and harmful person in the whole Mike thing. Even when I thought he was just another one of these idiots who said, like, kids can't lie, and if you say anything about the investigation, then you are like against children, you like support like pedophilia and all this stuff, and like kids don't lie, blah blah blah. And then to find out like he had false allegations by his own daughter against him, but she was lying. Like, I just thought that was the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard in my life. I've never seen such a hypocritical thing.
The second he said that, I knew y'all were going to eat him alive.
Like, why would he involve himself so strongly and go up and do when he did that?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the way he fucking came at us and the things he said after I heard that, girl, my motherfucking mouth hit the floor.
I knew y'all would all catch that,
and we should. But you know what? Here's the thing: I was done with Siren Jag when he did a live with Will. Not only did he do a live about how SANE exams are done to children and talking about all the swabs that are taken. So already
he broke down what takes place during an average exam period. It was not just pertaining to children. It was an average SANE exam. I was there. I saw the outline. It wasn't just about children. It wasn't cool either, but it was just about SANE exams in general.
Right, because to explain her SANE exam, and she is 9, and he was... I don't know. I can't repeat the words that he said. We'll just watch.
Queen, you've got a guest backstage, baby.
And also, his information was extremely wrong too. Like, everything he was saying was super inaccurate. Like,
what he said about Texas SANE exams, not just for the sake of argument, it actually was accurate. I helped make sure he went to, like, he sent me his outline, like I said, and I went and looked at the sources and everything that he cited. It was accurate for Texas.
Well,
The backlog, all of it. It was accurate.
But he didn't want to hear it because I got blocked. Yes, there was that backlog, but he didn't realize there was all this. There was different things that would pertain to her that had not. Everything he was saying did not apply to her to the situation because they were all trying to.
No, and it wasn't supposed to. Will may have tried to take it in that direction, but it was literally all it ever was like a general breakdown. It wasn't ever supposed to be totally applicable to the Long situation. I think Will just tried to do that with it. But didn't we also find out later that Michael had those results like months and months before when he said that they still weren't there?
We always, on this side, we always knew that there was never any issue with the lost stain exam. And first of all, we knew the stain exam had nothing in it. It was
Jim, she's told you you're not allowed on her panel, and she's clearly had to step away for a minute. He's in the private chat, Egg.
Who is it?
Jim.
Oh, Jim, you're not coming up. I'm not.
No. She's already told you can't come up here because you dox people and you don't act right. And I don't even know you, but I know you're not allowed on this panel. So I would say that you should stop going backstage. That's really weird. Let me take a picture for her in case she forgets.
She she's not here right now. But we all knew, we knew, first of all, there was no evidence to be had because that cop that phone call that Will is still talking about tonight, about how that cop was trying to stop the situation. That cop was trying to save that child from what they knew was a completely abusive thing to go and bring her for this other exam, and he wasn't supposed to do it. And he, it's no problem that didn't work, but he tried. And so there was never gonna be anything in it. It was never lost. All of that was he was just pulling the wool over so many people's eyes. It was all these, it was like Jim, just these just narratives that people just take for gospel that have nothing to do with that are completely not true.
It was all nasty and it should have never been talked about.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be talked about again.
Nope. I am just so excited. I'm not letting Will bring me down because I am so excited just to talk about Mike. Mike on trial. Mike going to jail, right? He doesn't have kids anymore. So
I would just prefer to let him just shrivel and die in the system and not ever talk about him again. That's what he wants, is to be relevant and to be talked about. And
he doesn't like the way I talk about him, Mike.
Yeah, but I think at this point it's going to be like a child. Any attention is good attention.
Yeah, I mean, well, we do have Jim here now, so, they're the same person. They act differently, but they're the same, Mike and Jim. Jim is more of a hustler though. Mike could never run cons on people. He's too lazy.
What do you mean Mike could never run cons on people? He conned people out of $250,000.
Yeah, because he sat there and told lies and his wife set up the GoFundMe and stuff.
That's what a con is telling lies.
Yes, that worked at one time. I'm talking about Jim has to get up every day, go find some football equipment and call people up and try to get them to wire him money, right? And then he does it constantly all the time that's a lot. Mike he made this huge money one time, but he doesn't scam money on a regular basis. He couldn't. He's way too lazy. He would never do the work.
Honey, he sells people scam sand out of a river.
Oh, the sand. Come on. They
There's
were
all
kinds
of scams. He scams his way into women's pants and purses all along the way. I found out one that was actually help funding his bullshit to Mexico. He scams people all the time. It's just not as offensive as what Jim does. Because
I'm
Jim
saying they're both the same person. They're both the same person, right? But I'm just saying Mike's never gonna work the phone the way as soon as Courtney left, they said that he was totally useless out there. He couldn't, focus on anything, even his bullshit thing. He's not
gonna he just conned people into doing it all for him. And then once they weren't there to do it, it kinked up the plans. Now just because he's not the one making the calls doesn't make him not a con.
Jim, I'm just gonna give you fair warning. I feel like this is fair.
Jim is more ambitious. I will agree.
Yeah, we're talking about this other guy, named Mike. And I mean, I don't think so, but Mike thinks that the reason that he's been in jail, he was in Mexican jail since December. Now he's in Texan jail, and he's on a $2 million bond, and he says it's because of us. So just fair warning.
So where he's at is called the TDJ. The jail circuits here are the Texas Department of Justice. So he's going to be in that system.
And it's $2 million bond. So
he's in a county jail.
Yeah.
Little piss poor county jail.
Mm-hmm. And he said it's our fault. He called some YouTuber from a Mexican jail and said it was our fault that he got caught and then he's in jail. So just fair warning.
It couldn't be because he kidnapped somebody and took off across the border. No.
Yeah. Well, that was our fault because the judge listened to us and our bullshit rumors online, and the judge then told him he couldn't do what he wanted. So obviously he had to leave. Did you see the little clip I have of Mike crying because he has to follow the law? Like,
are you talking about on Rekida's panel?
Yeah, it's like the little short one.
I watched that live. Yeah.
Oh my God. But it's like I found this little clip and he literally is just like, and now they expect me to.
I'm just really glad that Nick seems to have not fallen for the bullshit. And
well, Nick always knew what Mike was.
Yeah, but he could have really given that legs again and he chose not to.
Oh, he could. Yeah, he chose not to because it wasn't going to make him money. Like, do you know how much money Rekida makes?
Of course I do.
He's made $400,000 just in super chats in the last.
Dude, are you kidding me? Do you know how much money he made?
Yeah, millions.
Just by putting up Michelle Monas's picture. He would put up his picture until they would start paying him to take it down.
He's like,
he made a couple of grand just that night.
No, he makes millions and millions. You know, he does not. He is a lawyer. Like, he did pass the bar like later in life, and like he did practice like 2 years and like did some things, but he like stopped. And obviously, he makes way more money on YouTube.
Well, he still has a personal practice. He just does YouTube. He says that himself.
Right. I mean, why would you? But he's like hateful. Like, he's a terrible guy, but I mean, he makes millions. Like, I think he's like one of the top super chat people on all of YouTube. And he doesn't.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Like,
I would have to see that in like legit statistic form in writing because I don't think that's true. There's a lot bigger YouTubers. I just know that he did really good during the Depp trial for sure.
And he had done another trial before that. He did the anime guy. That was when he got really big on.
Yes, Captain, exactly. What is funny is that even when Rekida did give it legs, ML made no money, but Rekida did.
Oh, you're recruiting. Yeah, like that's the thing.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. That's why it was because he didn't worship Mike the way like Will.
Karmic Vibes. We're talking about a law-splaining lawyer on YouTube that
kind of like a right-wing kind of awful guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty right-wing.
Yeah,
but he is like a little bit vulgar, a little bit like Kiwi Farms-ish. And yes, he did really good on the Rittenhouse trial as well. It almost got him sued for using the long crime footage.
Pecan Pie said, "You have a picture of who in a diaper?"
Yeah, who's in a diaper? We need to know that.
Jim?
Yeah, right. We're talking about too many people. Who's in a diaper, bitch? But yeah, Allie, he got a lot of views off that case too. He did.
Oh, and by the way, when I shouldn't have said right wing. When I said right wing, guys, I didn't mean like just politically like very right. I mean, he's like alt right.
He's super conservative and
but like that kind of like those Proud Boys type thing. Like, you know, they look, you know, they're very clean cut, but they have very, very alt right.
I don't know if I agree with that, but he's definitely a schmuck.
You haven't been in his Discord. Like, it's like when you see the other stuff like he does, like he's really.
Oh, I know, I believe it. He also does Twitch and all kinds of shit. I'm not. I
he's
don't.
Smart. He's smart.
Half of what he says, though, I'm not even sure he believes.
I don't know.
We never will know, right?
I know what you mean. Like, he's kind of like tongue in cheek, but I don't think it's like tongue in cheek as in like he doesn't believe it. I think it's like he thinks he's like one of those 1A guys. Like, I can say this, like I'm gonna say shock value, but I do think that, you know.
Yeah. Queen, I already told him that you ain't gonna let him up here. She's finally responding to him.
I mean, I already said. I mean, like if she wants to talk to him, she can. I'll jump.
Oh,
down.
so see, I don't think she was talking about Jem. She's talking about a totally different person and creator.
Sorry, guys.
She's not saying that Jem is alt. Not at all.
No.
Jem probably doesn't even know what that means. He's not
know
even smart enough to participate in those parts of life. Sorry, we should be more clear as we bounce through topics. I have bad ADD, so I'm like, I can follow the circles just fine. But I know not everybody else can. Queen, I think he's gone. Or can you see him back there?
I think he left. I can tell if somebody's back. Like, only he can tell. Can you see if somebody's back there?
I don't think she'd really be no, hell no. I don't think she'd really be back there responding to him if he was gone though. Like she's
No, I was
talking
gonna
to
say
him.
when I came back on here, when I came back to the fucking phone, I seen there was some messages in the private chat. So I went in there and first of all, he came in. I see he came in like a wrecking ball, talking about yes, I'm here, and I didn't dox you on Tuesday, Queen Bee. You said I could come up if I kept my word. I got to get some sleep. Anyone ? She said if I did not dox her, hey lady, who's talking with the long face? I said, yo, Jim fucking Terry. First of all, you already attempted to dox me on your fucking live. The very first live you went on, at the very end of it, you attempted to dox me. And now your shit has, 15 fucking thousand views on it? I don't give a fuck about your goddamn threats to fucking dox. What I said was, you're to dox me. You're a fucking liability for my fucking channel. And yes, I've been watching you. And yes, you're getting better at not fucking doxing people. But you still act like a damn dumbass with no fucking home training. And secondly, you just threatened me with your motherfucking Facebook account that you had removed.
It wasn't,
that
Queen,
bitch, and I will have that motherfucker removed and fucking banned. Like
Queen,
I said, you better sit the fuck down and listen to what's already been down, went the fuck down in the Michael Long case. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
It was because of you, though. You weren't doing that to protect yourself. You were doing that because you didn't trust him not to come up and dox other people.
Right. That's exactly what the fuck I was saying.
You didn't even make it all about you.
About me because I don't give a fuck.
She's trying to protect the people that you're trying to hurt, Jim.
Also,
I don't want you fucking getting up here doxing people, doxing my fucking mods and doing dumbass shit because, like I said, you ain't got no fucking home training.
I love that, bitch. I love that we had to explain to people what that means. I thought everybody knew.
If somebody didn't even know, for somebody else from like American person didn't know it, so it must just be a regional, but it must be a big regional thing because we're not, and none of us are from the same area.
Yeah, I know in the South, that's what you say when somebody acts
Every
stupid.
fucking time he goes live, I hear about how I date black men and I'm a felon and I date felons and I'm a horrible fucking bitch. And he wants to have these callers call me a bitch and shit. You know what? Your callers can get fucked. How about that?
Well,
and so can you. I'm going to tell you right now, you thought Ellen Berg lit your ass up. You ain't seen or heard shit yet.
Is he back though, Queen? If you don't like somebody, you can kind of be a bitch. So I could see why they would say that, because when you don't like somebody, you tear into him. Like, but
it's not about that. But he's saying it for like just because she's
I've yet to tear into his ass.
I mean, she's never held back, so I could see why if people didn't understand why she was going off, where they may think that she is a bitch, when in reality she's just literally going off because people are doing wrong shit. So if somebody doesn't know her and they're just going by his word, I could see where they might think that, because she's aggressive when it comes to defending things that she thinks are wrong.
Is Jen still back there?
Nah, his ass is gone like the fucking wind.
It was weird. I get creeped out knowing that he was back there and he was talking. That I don't check the private chat. He was just talking the whole time to himself. I'm like, I didn't even realize it. It's weird.
Well, I think he knew I saw him, because that's why he asked why the long face.
It was only after you noticed him.
Yeah, I saw him right when he first started talking. I'm on my laptop, so the private chat will get little like number bubbles to let me know there's stuff there.
I mean, okay, so I do think that Jim is legitimately, like, he's still lying and saying that he said he worked half a dozen PI cases in the last 2 weeks and solved them all, which number one, you didn't, and number two, like, you only work one case at a time. He's given up on that. And he was like, he's like, oh yes, this woman called me, and in 1993 she met a guy at a construction site and she fell in love with him. And then they never saw each other again. And now she's older and she never found anybody in life. And she like wanted to reunite.
If you don't sit down with that phony ass fucking story he told.
Okay. So obviously that's a lie. However, I do think Jim seems to have taken my advice and is moving his business from fake PI and conning families to just be an asshole on YouTube for money. And if you just tone down some of the YouTube stuff, then I'm fine with that. I mean, I still think he's disgusting and whatever, but if he stops like trying to,
yeah, look, I understand why people. I understand, like, you know what I'm saying. I understand why people think he's funny and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He blurts shit out. You know what I mean? Like he's almost like he's like the class clown. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to laugh. Everybody, it's all fun and games and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Until he goes too fucking far. But see, that's the thing, is he doesn't have YouTube etiquette yet. He ain't been on YouTube long enough to understand the rules in the road and the, you know what I'm saying, of fucking YouTube streets.
But he's never going to see rules. I do think he's like a narcissist. I do think he has a personality disorder, and he's never able to follow the rules. But if he could,
no, but that's the thing though. He's gonna lose a channel. He's gonna. This is the thing. He ain't gonna listen. He's gonna keep doing the same dumb shit he's been doing. He's gonna fuck around and lose his goddamn channel. That's what's gonna end up happening.
Bitch, look at Lacey's comment.
Jim, it's not our fault you're racist. I can't read bad words out loud.
She said if you, with a short peener.
Dude, Ellen Berg went off. She lit his ass
That
up.
was great. I was so glad you sent me that because I needed that laugh.
Let's play some of it. Let me get it on. I'll play some of it. She fucking called him a new asshole.
If Jim was really just being funny and this was all a thing, he was in control of it, he has a gold mine. Like, this is, he has found these more, like, the people, these are like window lickers, like mouth breathers that are calling up his show, who are, so he could just yell at them and hang up, and they're in there by like 2,000 every single night, and I think they will keep coming because his content is boring as hell, and they're like, we love you. If that was all an act, he could be making money hand over.
Yeah, that's the thing though, right? He's got, if he could calm his shit down and stop with the doxing, stop with the threats, stop hurting family members, it wouldn't be an issue.
Right, but he can't control it. I don't think.
No, I don't think that that's something that he can deliver on, Queen.
No.
No, not at all.
Because he's been doing it like for a long time. You know, like you can't. He's not going to change.
That's like you said. He would have a fucking gold mine. That's right there. He really would, because people would fucking listen and people want to be there. They laugh. That shit's funny. To some of them people, they think it's hilarious.
Funny.
Okay, and that's all fine and well. You know what I mean?
Well, he's a male lol cow.
That's the problem. He takes shit way too far.
He's a fucking male.
When Ellen Berg went off on him, he could have easily clapped back. He did not. There was no fucking reason why he needed to tell her or talk shit about her husband having cancer. That's another thing. He pissed me clean the fuck off with that.
Why he did that? You know why he did that? Because she threw him off, because
he was losing.
He said something to her about like how she had like making fun of like her breasts being like saggy, like, you know what I mean, and gross. And she like turned around, she's like,
oh, he called her scrambled egg tits or something like that. She was mad as hell, wasn't she?
No, she's like, I'm gonna show him a salty right now. He'll tell you, right?
Yep. And then, yes.
He did not think that she would do that. Like, she would say that, and so he didn't know what to do.
Yep.
She's like, no, Ellen, don't, no.
She was great, man. I was just like, oh my God, she is lighting him up. It was great.
I do think, I will say one thing for Mr. X. When he came on, he sounds exactly like Jim, but he was like, instead of calling people like CUNTs and like disgusting pig stuff, he was like, you dork. He's like, these dorks. That was like the worst word he said, I think.
That's better than some that we've heard.
Yeah, he was. That was like the worst word he said. But he was talking about Laura having a turkey neck and being ugly, and that the camera's always pointing at her forehead. And
it was
saying some real nasty shit. Then he said we make fun of people who have menopause, but they can last longer.
Dude, I think of all the things he said towards or did towards Laura, that was really nothing. I think it was whenever he went after the dead baby daddy that it was too much. Like that was lowest of lows, if you ask me.
Right.
That's low. He says a lot of low. Like
dude, his grave isn't even cold yet. He just died.
I mean, you think he said the worst thing ever, and then he says something worse. Like,
he tops his own self, right? I can't remember he outdoes himself each time.
Pecan Pie, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if you've been watching his. Pecan Pie said he doesn't seem to understand the people he draws are going to be terrible shitbags like him. He's not drawing people like him. He's drawing people that are way dumber than him.
Vulnerable people.
And they think he's amazing, and they're not like him. They're like very simple. They're like simpletons. And and if this was an act, he could just exploit them, and he certainly has no problem doing that. But I don't know. Well, try it out, Jim.
Yeah, Pecan, she is making some really freaking cool candles. She's really.
They really are good.
Some of them are cool. And I've really noticed she's trying to up her game and outdo herself. like to up her own product, and she's been revamping everything. I'm pretty proud of her. I think it's cool. You know, a lot of people like to talk shit about her, but that girl's got to hustle, man. And she hustles hard to take care of her kids. That's respectable if you ask me. She's not out conning people.
Those are like, I've never seen candles like that before. Because when I first heard that she was making candles, I mean, I didn't judge.
Are you talking about the dessert ones and the coffee ones and stuff? Yeah,
Yes.
those are really cute.
Just like in the back of my head, I was thinking like from The Office, like Serenity by Jan, like with Jan's candles, and just like this like ridiculous hobby. But then when I saw those, not only were they really good, I've never seen candles like that.
Yeah, they're cute. She does a good job. I've seen them.
Those coffee ones or cappuccino ones, they were cute as hell. I drink cappuccino. I don't drink coffee. I drink Kappa.
I think the Fruit Loop ones and like the Sour Patch melts and stuff, those look really neat.
Yeah, they were cute. Okay, here, I'm going to start this. Ready?
Telling Doug that he's so fucking selfless. Jim Terry said, "Oh my gosh, Emmy is ugly, if not uglier than I thought she was."
God, she would.
So Mr. Salt Pancakes, that I'm going to answer a question so Jim Terry can have fun on his show. Give me wrong.
Well, it's not his show. It's just he's here.
Hey, Miss Bird.
Well, good. I'm glad he's there. I hope you shut up. I love when you get put in time out on Doug's show.
Miss Bird, can I ask you a question
about his eyeballs rolling around?
Can I ask you a question about Miss Terry? Mr. Terry, Miss
Jim
Bird?
Terry wants to talk.
He said Miss Terry.
Tell him to fly into the Salt Lake City International Airport. I'll pick him up. And I'll look at them goddamn cold fucking narcissistic eyes.
Are you gonna pick him up on a 4-wheeler?
No. I'll pick him up in my Chevy truck or my Chrysler. And no, I won't kill him. I'm not saying I'm gonna like kill him or anything like that. But I would just like, you know, if you want to talk to me, come here, dude. Come here. All the shit that you've said to me, give me an opportunity because you're sitting on there.
That's right.
Schmuck, and Mr. Doug has the big, and you know what, by the way, Doug, you need to stand up and show that little, it's not a birthmark. What is it on your leg?
What's she talking about? His tattoos, I think.
That is a method. He might not be doing it now, but those eyes sunken into the back of his head, yeah, shit, me not.
Sounds like a method.
Like, I'm pissed off and saying, Doug, leave me the fuck alone. You have me connected to possibility of murder, and you have that baby on it. That was pretty clever. I thought that was pretty clever.
That's
and
Jim screaming like a dumbass in the background.
Don't knock Ty's wife because she's sick. So nobody better say anything. And Phyllis is a little sweetheart.
That's what he said. She had AIDS. Didn't he say that?
I served her when she came into my bar, and I do like Phyllis very much. I don't have a hard on with her. But when I tell you that my son is sick.
Yes, he kept saying that Phyllis had AIDS, didn't he?
Yep. Which was like a weird thing. Like, I just don't even understand.
Yeah, that's very weird. What the fuck is he doing? And so that's what Ellen was going off. And she said, I've served her in the bar. And he said, so you've served somebody with AIDS? That's exactly what he just said.
Yeah.
He's so fucking nasty.
And you put that baby on laughing?
Oh, yeah. She said herself. Okay, and this is the thing. Her son is sick. And he has something wrong with his lungs. And they kept talking shit. And he was like, something about what'd you do? Did you what did he say to her? Did you fuck next to a something plant? Or I don't know what he said to her, but he said something about her. And yeah, she's like, no, my son has, he's got a disability. He was born that way. And you guys put the laughing baby on there and was laughing at him and shit. That's what
he doesn't care. He's got to work on. He's got to work on.
No, he don't.
Error.
He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Show and talk about how we're on, and we just want good things on our show. Okay, yeah, sure. And you can just, Jim Terry is just a narcissist at his very finest. He's flashing. He's so in love with himself.
Yes,
and he's just
her talking over him was very funny.
Right.
They sink into his head. Miss Bird, can I ask you a question about Jim Terry?
Fuck you.
She said, fuck you.
I think your dick so you can get some oxygen in your plane.
Miss Bird, I have.
And no, I do not think that your eyeballs, I think your eyeballs are very scary and threatening. And I think if there was anybody out there here that would have had anything to do with going around, it would have been someone like you.
Uh-oh.
Because you're a sick
Shit.
bastard.
She's
That's
calling
why
his
you
ass
have
out.
such a hard on for everyone, because you're the sick bastard, dude. You're the sick bastard. And you can sit there behind your computer and you can look, don't call me Miss Berg. I'm sleazy, low life white trash, Mr. Prickhead.
I never said you were sleazy, but everything else. But I want to fuck you so bad.
See how fucking nasty he is?
It's like, but it's not funny. Like, it's not just nasty. It's like not funny.
No, it's really not funny. And he thought that was just Laura just went, something's going down. I don't know what's going on with that, but let's listen to this.
I wouldn't fuck you if my dog had a can pussy. I wouldn't fuck you with my dog's dick. You're the scum of the earth. You are the scum of the earth. And that's why you and Doug do so well.
See, she puts it down.
You are the scum of the earth. So sit behind your computer and jerk your asses off. Do whatever you need to do, but your eyeballs, you're a
Ellen.
nasty fucker. And you know goddamn well you are. And your mother knows you are. Or she's probably one herself, but whatever.
Did you sleep with Aaron Wadsworth?
Would that be any of your business? Would it do me any good? Hey, no.
He said, "Oh, you did, you sick bitch," and starts screaming at her like,
got
"What
her,
the fuck is wrong with him? What the fuck?"
He's like, he's not funny.
No, and he starts screaming like a damn fucking stupid guy.
Awkward.
Would it do me any good if I tried to defend or protect myself? I will look my God and my almighty maker in his face. I would like to know if you're going to be able to do the same, you cocksucker. And I'm not even going to get in trouble for calling you a cocksucker, because God already knows you are. You're threatening Candace. You're threatening
She speaks some
and
truth.
you're going to have her put in prison. And this woman is hurting and feeling horrible, and you do it behind your computer. You're fucking sick, dude.
But he is. He's sick as fuck for what he's doing to Candace.
Any more than I would fuck you. If you had a heart on 10 miles long, I wouldn't let you fuck my worst goddamn badger. Put your dick down in a badger hole and maybe you'll get something out of it. That's what you're worth. You are.
Ellen is going off.
Did she say put it in a badger hole?
Yeah, she said put it in a badger hole.
Asshole for bringing this fucker on.
And she said, "Salty, you're an asshole for bringing this fucker
I
on."
thought he was going to be nice and offer some flowers and said,
She said, "You're a fucking asshole for bringing him on," because she wasn't aware that
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure JT was. That's all he fucking does. He came over here wanting to start shit, and because I didn't let him on the fucking panel over here, he went over there and started shit like a fucking damn dumbass. And that's what he fucking does. He's a fucking psycho.
And if he was smart, though, he wouldn't be doing this. He'd be bringing it to his panel, and he'd be bringing it to his panel.
But he doesn't. He goes to all these other channels and panels and wants to talk shit like a fucking dumbass. I don't understand what the fuck.
Like, does he not know that this is what you do with drama? Like, you go to your panel, you turn on live, and everybody's going to go there to hear you respond to it. But no, he's going to go over to Laura's panel or like, Salty's panel. Salty got a lot of subs. Because when I first saw him, like, he had like...
Yeah, Salty, well, listen, what was really fucked up is I was on panel, Kurt was on panel, and Eric was on panel, and none of the three of us fuck with him. None of the three of us like him, but he still chose to let him come up there, which I understand. It's his panel, it's his channel. He can do whatever he wants to do. But as soon as he let him up there, as soon as my StreamYard booted me, I stayed the fuck out because I ain't got nothing to say to that motherfucker. And when I do go off, it's going to be real fucking bad. So
I'm just...
Let me
finish. More harsh on me. I'm thrilled that he was this
I think he's being soft on you.
I think
I think we should spoon sometimes. I mean, I love being abused by a narcissist. There's nothing like it in the whole world. Nothing. They stalk you forever.
Yeah, Jim Terry.
Hey, let me ask you something, Mr. Jim Terry. Why don't you talk to us about your girlfriend? Why don't you talk to us about your girlfriends? Why don't you talk to us about your junior prom? Why don't you talk to us about somebody that you love? Do you have children? Huh? Do you have anybody that you've ever loved or your heart's ever gone out to? No. You're the narcissist.
See?
None of you fuckers. And you know what?
Said none of you fuckers, and she's got it. Like, she is not playing.
She
is
came, but
not
by the
fucking
way,
playing.
she came back the next day and like was like apologizing because she was really embarrassed that she had she had yelled so much and gotten so vulgar and like that.
Yeah, she did too. She was trying. She came on to apologize. Yeah, and I thought that was really nice. She was apologizing to Salty and like the other people in the chat. But I'll tell you what, she fucking lit his ass clean up, and he was not fucking ready for it. He was not ready for it. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it, and then we'll shut it off. I'll link Salty's channel too, so if anybody wants to go watch it, like in the full, because it's like an hour long. I'm not gonna play all of it because it's super long, but it is funny as hell, and y'all should definitely go listen to the rest of it.
Yeah. If you know what? It doesn't matter if I meet you or I meet one of the other $150 million, the 100,000 narcissists that are on the planet. You're all the same. There
Freaking
is
fact.
nothing special about you. A narcissist is a narcissist, and if you've met one, you've met them all. But let me tell you something, dude. I'm unique. Okay, I'm unique. Call me what you will, but I'm unique.
She's
So
unique.
you're gonna fly in Salt Lake? Yeah, come on down, buddy.
So tell me, how old was Aaron Wadsworth when you fucked him?
See how vulgar and
Probably
nasty he
about
is?
Dylan Brown's age right now, and he had
No real PI would ever get on here and be so vulgar and unprofessional. No real PI. No real PI would ever get on here and do this to people or their families.
That bar is too high. Like no normal adult would do that. And to be clear, just to respond to anybody who might be listening from like who hasn't been here, it's not like that he's a vulgar, unprofessional PI. He's not a PI. He cannot do any PI work. He does not even know how to Google as well as the average person on YouTube. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's why he lives in whatever he lives in. He was like, they don't know where I am. They don't know if I live in a camper or a trailer, or if I live at, or if I go around and like stay at different family members' houses. I'm like, okay. But that's probably why he's living.
Little does he know. Let me just shut my mouth.
What? Oh, you're gonna save it for Tuesday for Mr. X?
Yes, ma'am.
had 5 or 6 children.
So that story
probably
is true.
about that same age.
You had sex
See,
with Aaron
he's trying to put words in her mouth.
I don't know.
And she was like, you know what?
You know what? This is what you fly monkeys and you narcissistic people do. And you know what? I'm not going to defend myself. I don't have to defend
Exactly.
myself.
She really ain't got to defend herself. Especially for these crazy ass accusations. The shit's fucking, I mean, it's ridiculous anyways. You know what I mean? The shit that he has said is fucking ridiculous. But it was her son, Dylan, that said he went over to Kurt's house at some point in time, and he was either eating a popsicle or eating fruit, something that, and his lips were red. And he goes, oh my God, so he's been dressing in drag wearing lipstick. You caught him wearing lipstick? And he's like, no, I never said that. And he's like, yeah, you did. Yes, yeah, you did. You just want to get on here and lie now. So basically he was, you know what I'm saying? And then he started making fun of Dylan because he only has like a third of a lung or something. I'm not sure, but the joke started then.
Yeah, pecan pie, you would think. But I mean, he's also, something else about PI, he was talking today about, no one will ever find me. I move from state to state. I live in RVs and then trailers and stuff. I'm like, you're going to hire somebody who's like literally, nobody can locate him. Like, he's like, you know, like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. But I was sad that before Jim left, I wanted to ask him about if he recognized a name that I just came across, but he's gone now, so I'll have to wait until a different time. So, do we want to take a poll on who won the bout tonight, or at least ask in the chat, maybe?
And the fact that he's so obsessed with every person that calls in, he's all, how tall are you? How much you weigh? What do you look like? All right, what's your question? Oh, you don't have one fast enough? Hang up. What a fucking loser. Didn't even have their question on fast enough. Fucking loser. Stupid ass bitch. Like that's that's how
But
the
it's
fuck
like that
you
doesn't
act.
like,
Like,
even if that was funny, even if you're a person who thought that was funny for a second, which I don't, like, it gets tired. He does it all the time. But like I said, he has a very simple following. Like they don't care. Like I'm not joking. I was in pain by the end of his last stream because I'm like, I can't listen to these stupid callers anymore. And Jim screaming, like, I can't
oh,
listen.
it was awful. Put me into a bad mood for fucking days.
Oh yeah, I woke up the next day. I felt like terrible. Yeah, pecan pie. I mean, to be fair, like Queen invited him on the panel all the time in the beginning. He didn't start coming on.
Oh, I did. I was going to let him come up and explain himself until he started doxing and doxed Sleuth Mom, and then got up and snuck up and doxed Sleuth Mom, and then put her address out there, and then he tried to dox somebody else, and then a channel. He went up on that one girl's channel, and her whole fucking channel got terminated. Then he went on somebody else's channel, and their channel got terminated because he wanted to sneak dox. And I'm like, oh, hell to the no. I'm not willing to lose my shit because you want to be a little funky ass bitch. And I could imagine him doing that because he don't like me. So that's the first thing that he would probably get up here and do, is pull some stupid shit like that. So then I got to hurry up and take my fucking stream down and delete the whole fucking thing. See, I'm not going to play with him like that.
Well, cool.
Yeah, he had the nerve to ask that girl what her bra size was.
So stupid. Ellen's kind of right about like his eyes. Like they're very like black. Like
they're very dark and beady.
Yeah, beady. Yeah, it's a word for it. It's like.
She said she came out the womb having sex. Look.
You come out of my time, you make sure you go look this little prick. You'll know because he's the littlest prick, which I think you're a big prick. But you make sure to look him up. Now, I've had sex with the whole fucking planet, cocksucker. You can't hurt me. Nobody cares.
He kept threatening her and saying he was going to go take it to his show.
You can't hurt me. Come on. Bring the fucking shit on. Let's bring it on, buddy. Come on. Come on, let's listen. I don't want to hear what Aaron Wadsworth told you, you lying motherfucker.
Yeah, he said, okay. She said, you've been talking about this shit for how long? Where's his recording with Aaron Wadsworth?
Yeah,
Where's that at?
By the way, I said like in Doug's chat that first day, I'm like, that you're never gonna get that recording, and he's like, yeah, I am, blah blah blah, and then he never did it. Like, listen, guys, the list of things that he said he's the guests he said he would bring on his channel, the doxes he said he would do, like, this is what I'm telling you, that his chat is very, like, a little not all there, because any chat would rebel against not getting the content they were promised like that, you know? But they forgot, like, they just totally forget basically why they're there.
Yeah, they just roll with whatever. It doesn't matter. He said, "Oh, he's gonna have a phone call with Chase Vinstra and Chase Vinstra's dad." And the fucking call was from like 3 months ago. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking serious?
It's boring. I don't know. I just think it's boring. But I have to go back because it's late here. But I do think we need to decide. Remember, this is not based on
before we get off of here.
This is not all behavior ever. This is like from Friday to today, like basically last night and like today.
So in order to pick, we got to figure this out. Are we going to do like 1 for Jim Terry and 5 for Swill, or what?
Let's do like a J and a W, but put the thumbnail back up so people can see them, and then we'll do J.
Okay, we got this.
Yeah, don't say it yet, guys.
Yeah, we need to know. We need to know who has won this.
To be clear, it is based on their behavior in the last, 24 hours. Which of them would host the title of the most reprobate, wicked, dishonorable, immoral, degenerate, rotten, reprehensible, dissolute, sinful, unprincipled, wanton, villainous, perfidious scoundrels on YouTube? Is it Jim, the Flim Flam Man Terry, versus Will, Oakleaf Henry? J for Jim, W for Will. We have 100 people in the chat.
All right, roll it out. Who won, guys?
I'm going with. Oh. Yeah, I agree, Pecan. That's why I said Will. Jim's just doing his regular thing.
What? Please help me, Facebook. Who do we got? Who's ES? I know that's not Ernie Shell. You didn't throw him in the mix, did you? Okay, let's see. We got JTW, JJJW, WJW, J.
Jim definitely won. Congratulations,
Yep.
Jim.
We figured he would.
You're the worst person. Thank you, Cappy.
Yes.
Cappy. We agree. You Cappy and Pecan Pie.
I think they're both equally gross. And I mean, Jim's just doing his nasty ass shit that he does. But Swill, man, I can't believe he brought all this shit back up. And for what?
Oh
I think
God.
because he's wanting drama. He's wanting to fucking fight.
I think is it because that girl says about money, but I think I'm not saying he doesn't want views, but I think he just likes to feel. I think he felt really important. I think he like peaked in adult life when at the top of the because he was like,
well, because he was really he was good friends with Annie Banani, and I mean he was like real popular. He got like you know all them subs and all them women that liked him, and he was feeling himself for sure.
He wants to get that back. All right, but Jim wins. Like he's definitely, you know. It's funny because these guys do not know each other. I don't think they would get along, actually, believe it or not.
Oh, hold on. These are the pictures that that Jim was jealous about, that Duty Ron put up. Here's one of them.
Oh yeah, this
is they're just sitting at the table having dinner, right? Someone sent a big super chat and he was like, hey, I'm gonna match that, you know what I mean? And so I think they ended up sending her like $800 to take her family to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So she did. She sent, you know, they went to dinner. She sent a few pictures. Oh my God. You would have thought he done sent her like $5,000 or, you know, like $500,000. Oh my God. That's like, all of them talked about.
He literally said,
like, Duty, Ron, and Mike and them, they wouldn't even, they would not play with him.
It was funny because he was like, why is she out? You see this? She's out doing this, having dinner instead of looking for her son. And Tyler's just like, well, they have to eat.
Right. He's like, wait, which, I mean, I'm kind of grateful he was actually being like real there. He's like, they have to eat. Well, yeah, no shit, but they aren't supposed to be go. Well, that was it. That just looks like it's even just one step up from Cracker Barrel or whatever he said. And he's like, hey, I like that. I like that restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, you're just one to nitpick.
Because he wants to be like, oh, it's so extravagant. And then he's like, oh no, if I say it's extravagant steakhouse, then they're better than me. So now I'm gonna make fun of it and say it's like a Golden Corral. Like he's a mess. But
well, I'm excited for Tuesday because I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. X, I'm not about to play with you no more.
I'm just happy that I think he probably thought it was going to be a surprise. And I feel like I just realized this. When you listen to the Mr. X thing again, he says, I haven't talked to Mr. X in a long time, which could be made up, but it could be that he hasn't talked to his brother in a long time, right?
Well, there's a couple little clues in there, so trust me. I even got a video to drop too, and I'll probably drop it like Tuesday morning. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I kind of freaked out about? Do you remember the other day?
Well, I don't want you to say too much.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
When we streamed the other day, his second one. And sometimes I take the time to like, if I'm sharing my screen to like change my name to something nothing, like to something nothing. Usually I don't care. And I put in that time X, Mr. X, because it's just anonymous. And I wonder if like he saw it and like thought that like it meant something. It's just like a weird coincidence.
Very weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go. Thank you for a fun Saturday night.
Well, I think this is Sunday, ain't it?
It's Sunday? Okay. Sunday night.
Okay.
I have no sense of time in this whatsoever. None.
See, I figured the girls would have popped over here, but they were having issues with Michelle again. And I'm like, God damn.
I don't even, I can't even, I would listen to it because God help me, I could listen to that all the time, but I'm not really the other.
I haven't been around. I need to talk to the girls. I haven't really talked to them too much. So
yeah, I don't get
busy. I've been busy. I know. I mean, I just actually got a notification that Squish went live on her Cal Cuddy channel. So if you guys you're involved in the mic stuff, I know that Squishy's new channel is called Cal Cuddy. So if you all are not subscribed to her, go subscribe to her.
Yeah, the Michelle thing is it is hard.
That's been going forever. She, and you know what? She was one of Mike's biggest fans, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, her and that Sal girl, I don't even know her fucking name, but she goes by Sal or whatever.
Now they like hate
I'll tell you what, them two fucking go at it. But sometimes it works my nerves because like when they be coming in here, I'm not trying to babysit and fucking watch kids. Like if you can't get along, don't come in here and talk about shit. It's like, it reminds me of like two kids nitpicking and arguing. Like one of them will be in here just talking away and the other one will come in and just be like, hey, or whatever. And then I was like, shut the fuck up, Michelle. Like
I'm like, okay, all right, time out, enough. Let's go in our corners. Let's separate.
God, I know I'm a bad person, but when she'll like get back up onto a panel and just like fight with these people like over and over again the same way for 2 years, I absolutely can watch that. I don't know, there's something wrong with me. But when like other people are involved and it's like it doesn't remind me of like the good old days. I'm just like new people and I'm like, I'm like whatever. But I could listen to her and Georgia go at each other. Like I could hear Georgia go at Michelle like, forever. It's like always gonna be fun.
And Georgia always puts her in her fucking place every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry to everybody in chat. When Queen first started this channel and I first started coming on this panel, it was just people who like knew every single reference, like we were saying. And now I need to realize that I can't just talk like stream of consciousness about like all these things and people that like not everybody knows about. Like I have to like be clear and like.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people that don't know, the mic stuff.
Because it's been done, we've been done fucking with talking about it for a while. Like we'll talk about it every once in a while when it pops up, but other than that, we have no reason to really bring it up. And I think those kids should be able to live without having to be on YouTube and without having to, you know what I'm saying? Imagine being in high school and having something that happened to you, private and really private happen to you, and one of the kids find out and start bullying her over all the YouTube videos that were made about her in her private area. And who would want that? Come on now.
I honestly feel like, and this is not, if I was in that position, I do think, especially since like the parental rights have been completely terminated, I probably would do a name change. I would go back to my maiden name and put the kids' names back to my maiden name. That's probably going to take care of it,
Yeah.
I would seriously consider doing that. And she may have done that already. We will never get an update on those kids, and that's fine. That's great. But it's just so fun to like, to like rip on Mike and just like, we have a lot.
Well, yeah, and for Swill to even bring this back up, what the fuck is he doing? Don't even make no damn sense. And then to sit here and dog out Kelly like that, get the fuck out of here.
He said that. He has no sense of like being an adult and just even being responsible. Like he's not even protecting himself saying something like that.
It's irritating, but you know what? I had fun. I had a good time. We had fun laughing tonight. We did have fun debunking their bullshit. It's always a good time when we can do that.
Okay, so we're gonna we'll be here Tuesday.
No, we'll be on Queen. You'll be on Queen Pen.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's where I get down and dirty. That's what I said, my down and dirty channel. Oh, and you know what? Let's say fair use. As long as you change the video up, and he's Mr. X was trying to school us on fair use, but his ass needs to go back and realize that we never stream his shit all the way through. We always stop and comment on his bullshit because we cannot fucking help it. First of all, and second of all, we know the rules, which is why we alter the video.
I guess
That's
he
why
never
Good Egg listens to the music and she hates it.
the thought of just streaming him all the way through without talking, I wouldn't survive.
Oh my god, I couldn't. Nope.
No.
I'm not gonna fucking sit and get yelled at for 5 hours. It makes me want to punch somebody in the fucking face.
Yep.
Anyways, y'all have a good night. You know what? I might come on here tomorrow and talk some shit in the morning. We'll see.
Maybe. I'll see if I might be around. Depends on if it's sunny or rainy tomorrow.
I know. Let me know. We'll see what's up. We might come on chit chat in the morning.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank y'all for coming. Good night, Good Egg. Thanks for hanging out.
No problem.
Coming
Bye.
up and chit chat. We'll see you later, baby. And bye, everybody. I hope you guys had a good night. And I hope you had a good time. We'll talk to you later.